Or silver, and it's the 1st of March. You know what that means. The countdown to the real official Formula One begins, doesn't it? Unfortunately, because Australia's been pushed back, so is all the testing and all that kind of jazz. 'Cause I think it would have started happening this week, wouldn't it, or next week? But nope, it's a week's. But instead, it's been pushed back to a week. But then instead, we have got things like Drive to Survive. We've got all the car launches and everything this week. I am really like bombed about it. No, wait, is that right? I don't know. All I know is I am very hyperactive, so I'm really looking forward to all that kind of stuff. And car launches and all that kind of stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Aston Martin in the Alpine, as well as the Mercedes has been giving us a couple of teasers, haven't they? I absolutely love that. As just taking a look at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix circuit, 3.7 miles long. This one is. It's the second longest on the calendar, if I'm not very much mistaken. Eat the Cookie has the fastest up around here, which is a 1:39.653. Then last season's pole position was a 1:37.911. Please do not call the emergency services, because it was Nude Potato on pole position. The season before that was actually a 1:37.478. So currently it's all the lap records sat from season one. Then, so can the silver guys and girls get that lap record pushed down here tonight? Then right, then let's go through the drivers and the constructors standings, and this is how the state of play is. And Troy leads the silver championship for the first time in his career, and for the first time this season as well, after overhauling Gamer. So Gamer missed the Monaco Grand Prix then, so he now has to strike back, doesn't he? Second position then is Gamer. 17 points separates Troy and Gamer at the moment, but Troy is on such a rich run of form. We'll talk about his form in just a jiffy, I think. In third position, we have New Potato, of course, the former bronze world champion. 64 points behind Gamer, 81 points behind the championship leader. Wilson in fourth position with Steve in fifth, and both Red Bull drivers are on a magnificent season so far. They're joint on 44 points then. Nigel, the first ever ALR world champion, up 3 positions. He's moved up to 6. Curly, status quo in 7th position. Cirrus Mushroom, 8th. Sean Hammers moving up to 9th. Welsh Maldonado dropping down to 10th position as well. Gordo, off the back of a very fantastic race last time out in Monaco. Magnificent for Gordo. I think he finished second. He moved up 3 positions as well. In the, and of course, the bottom 3, he actually hasn't scored any points. BP and Pains as well. All you regular viewers are going to be a bit confused by those last 2 names, but we'll talk about that in just a jiffy. Hold your horses, everyone. We have got a lot to get through tonight. Excuse me, I apologise. I do want a bit of sympathy, actually, because I've just had overindulged, I think, in a big bar galaxy, and I am really suffering at the moment. Goodness me. So if I go quiet on the stream, you know why. Well, you can probably imagine why. Anyway, enough about that. In the constructors' standings, this is how it's the state of play is as well. Mercedes and Renault are joint at the top of the standings on 162 points apiece. Those 2 teams have been magnificent, haven't they? Sean Hammers and Gamer have been brilliant this season, and so are the Renault team of Troy and Welsh Maldonado as well. Very 2 strong teams. Behind those leading teams is the Red Bull, 74 points back at the moment. Ferrari have moved up into 4th position. McLaren have dropped down to 5th and having a bit of a difficult time. The 2 McLaren guys are. 6th position is Haas. They have moved up 2 positions. The Alfa Romeo and Williams have dropped down a position each. AlphaTauri in 9th position and Racing Point, unfortunately, have got the horror of being the worst team officially in ALR history at the moment, because no team in ALR has failed to score in the first 7 Grand Prix. So they need to kind of pull their finger out, really, don't they? And I think that we'll see how they go in this race here tonight. In the joint constructors, Renault have got a very nice margin at the moment, 115 points in front of Mercedes in 2nd position. McLaren are in 3rd position, 65 points behind Mercedes, 180 points behind the Renault team. Alfa Romeo in 4th position, and the only movers in the joint constructors is AlphaTauri have got in front of the Red Bull team. Racing Point at 7th, and then Ferrari are 8th, and with Haas also joined in 8th position as well. Williams on 59 points. And right, that's all me official stuff. Then I'm going to give myself a self high five and sit back down. Then right, then is we've got cars on the circuit. Let's see what is going to be occurring here tonight. And we're on board with one of the Alfa Romeo details. And talking of this driver on board with now, TK is now an official full-fledged driver of ALR Silver. So great stuff indeed there from TK. Of course, he's had 19 points then on the board then since his debut. As he's driven for the Alfa Romeo twice, and he drove for Mercedes last time out in Monaco as well. So TK, who got on pole position as well last time, didn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed then. But he's back in the Alfa Romeo here tonight, and good stuff indeed then. And he's richly deserved it, as the car too. Great to see him in the in action as well. Other new drivers in here tonight, and BP, of course, who I actually commentated on back in my early years when I was commentating on IRC Elite. So BP, goodness me, how the more things change, the more they stay the same. But great to see BP back in action, and it's great to commentate on him once again. And also we got Paynes, who was in the gold. He was in gold, wasn't he? He has decided to switch to the Williams team, and he made his name for the Williams team, didn't he, when he first made his debut in ALR? So he's also back to his roots as well. Paynes is tonight. He is in the Williams, and Williams also Williams are hoping to get themselves propelled at the constructors as well. On board with TK at the moment. I've got a lot of things to go through. Goodness gracious me! I've also got Sky Sports yelling at me as well. But let's turn that off, shall we? As we're just watching TK then coming through the first sector now. This is a very difficult circuit. Last night we only had a 4 drivers, I think, retire. 4 or 5 drivers retire, which is absolutely fantastic. But the week before that in Monaco for silver, because well, for TK was going into the wall then. For silver was absolutely magnificent. We only had one retiree, and of course I've read the cop. Oh, goodness me. As Wilson, oh no! Wilson is in the barrier. He's in the Armco already in this session. And Ayrton's going to come up to the car now. Wilson is in the back of the field. Goodness me. That is not good at all. I was about to talk about Wilson and Bradfield. They came to blows in Monaco. And Wilson is going to be absolutely furious with himself. I'm sure he is, unless he was given a helping hand into that wall. Either way, he is out of qualifying. That is a major, major blow, isn't it, for Wilson? Unfortunately, he is going to be in the least favourite spot here in Azerbaijan tonight. He is last on the grid, as TK is first on the grid at the moment. But that is very unfortunate indeed. I was about to say that and the only retirement from last week was Bradfield. Bradfield that retired after him and Wilson came to blows at it. I think I heard the gossip column that it was Wilson that gave Bradfield a helping hand into the Armco. To honest, we're not sure what happened really. I missed it on the stream, which is standard stuff really, because I miss a lot of interesting parts. I miss a lot of the action on the stream, don't I really? Ayrton there is 4/10 of a second behind Bradfield at the moment. I've just knocked my headphones off, which isn't great, is it? Got to say, it's because I've got really big ears. Welshman Nado is out on circuit at the moment, and she is just coming to the end of that. So is Baz as well. And let me quickly go through the comments, shall we? Because we're already 6 minutes into qualifying when I haven't even acknowledged any of the fans in the comments. As we've got the countdown is standard then, is that all you guys are all trying to get the first comment then. To be fair, I might throw in a comment next week actually to really throw a what's it? I don't know. Throw a cat amongst the pigeons. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, cat amongst the pigeons. That really get everyone to go to win it. We seem to have our usual first, second, third kind of comments. And we got Welsh Maldonado, who is second fastest at the moment, 2/10 of a second away from TK, who is the benchmark. Baz is in third position in the AlphaTauri. Good time there from Baz. We got New Potato, who's about to start his first run. Steven, who's out on circuit then in the Red Bull. His teammate, who's fifth in the championship, unfortunately out before we've even got into the run of things. Ayrton has said hello, Sean. Good evening, Ayrton. Gamer, evening everyone. Good evening, Gamer. Lights, hello. How is everyone doing? Hey, Sean. Hello, Lights. Then is Welshman. Another evening. Good evening, Rebecca. We've also got Gunnar saying evening, everyone. Hello, Gunnar. I hope you're having a lovely day, Gunnar. As unfortunately, Gunnar was one of the retirements last night, wasn't he? In the Red Bull. Red Bull had a bit of a miserable night last night, didn't they? So hopefully they can bounce back here tonight. Potato then on the lap and on. Here comes Gordo. He was the star of qualifying, wasn't he, last time out? So we're expecting more of the same tonight. I certainly am now, because he's really put a benchmark on himself now, hasn't he, Gordo is? So I'm expecting him very much in the high ends of the of the top 10, and same with Billet as well. We was talking about the praise of Billet of Gordo, but let's talk about this man as well. His first time that he scored points in his ALR career last week. It was a fantastic drive from both the Haas drivers. It was really cool and calmly done, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed there. Billet, of course, getting a very good, I say, his career best 6th position last time in Monaco. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there. Gordo getting his best position ever, position as 2nd as well. Billet currently the slowest of the cars so far, though, as we just got Curly there, who's just emerging into the sunshine. I've completely missed Gordo as I got distracted by Curly. Well, to be honest, I missed Gordo because he was actually the car in front of Billet there. Gordo in at 3rd position then at this moment in time. Then we've got Troy, who's just finishing his lap as well. No, he isn't. He's starting his lap. I don't even know where I am then. On board Payne's then, who's got the Michael Schumacher helmet from 1995 by the looks of that. Lovely stuff indeed then. New Potato's just coming out to the line as well. Let's see what Potato does then. Of course, he was on pole position. Well, he was on pole position, wasn't he, in this race before? But he is currently faster as well, and by 4/10 of a second from his teammate TK. Alfa Romeo got an absolutely fantastic the team lineup now, and I'd say that they're really going to propel themselves up the leaderboard in the constructors and the joint constructors as well. But Payne's really showing, to be honest, in gold. Payne's the position where he was in gold does not really reflect of his caliber as a driver. Really, he's just a very unlucky man in the races, isn't he? He's very quick in qualifying. Hopefully, he can get himself a clean bit of racing car half here tonight. Troy, the championship leader. All eyes will be on this man. The same with Gamer as well, and also BP also out on the circuit. Then there's a lot of chatter about BP and where his pace is going to be relative to the rest of the silver grid. I think that BP is going to be the sharp end of the field in my humble opinion. So Troy coming out of turn 15 as well, then before dropping down into turn 16. Unknown Ferrari star saying "Vamos, bonito!" Perez and Gordo. Hello to TK. Good evening, my friend. Hello, TK. Vintage. All right, Sean. Good luck, everyone. Good evening, Vintage. Lovely to see you still race. And hear Sean's voice. Said, I think you must have something in your ears, young light. Said, I've got to say, I've got a very horrific voice, to be honest. And I got when I first started commentating, I asked to be a commentator for ALR. Dan Murphy, the founder, was like, "No way, Pedro." But unfortunately, we couldn't find anyone else. So it was kind of like desperate times calls for desperate measures kind of thing, really. But there we go. And they've just stuck with me since, really, because they all love driving, and I talk all kinds of nonsense. As Diashi is unfortunately slowed the car down. Is there a problem with the racing point? Diashi then, of course, I think he's had a bit of a tough start to his career in silver, hasn't he? Remember, in bronze, he really made his name, didn't he, in the Singapore Grand Prix. He really announced himself onto the worldwide stage, didn't he? Diashi did. So I am expecting big things from Diashi, who's still got my favourite helmet in all of ALR. So good stuff indeed there for Diashi, and hopefully he can get himself sorted out this season as well. Just taking a look, then Curly is coming into the middle part of his sector now. Then he is in the middle part of the course, and in the McLaren we've got 12 times on the board then, with 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session then. Dylan, evening. Good evening, Dylan. Serious Mushroom, evening. Jake Wilson, I don't believe it was all me. I'm in trouble for the race if I can't get past there. And unknown Ferrari Steve said, Benito Perez, hey, Ali, I think that is. Gunnar saying, you caused my crash putting the camera on me. So, yes, I always catch Gunnar's finest moments, don't I, when I'm spectating him. I think that he's, as you've heard in the comments there, he's very appreciative, isn't he? Curly coming up to the line as well. 2 DRS zones around this course. One on this start-finish straight here, and one in between at turn 2 and at turn 3. He's also got a bit of a cheeky slipstream now from the Ferrari in front. Curly goes full fastest in the McLaren. Gamer on the circuit as well. Hammers is also out as well. He's out on circle, I mean. What about BP's? He flies past me there. Wow, incredible stuff indeed. Then the nose hairs goes completely ripped out my nose as BP is coming up to DRS line right on the money. Then the drivers get a beep in their ear, but I think BP doesn't even need to worry about the beep at the moment. He is currently 7th fastest in the racing point as well. There's a lot of pressure on BP and Diashi, really. As I've got to say, the pressure just builds and builds, doesn't it, when you've had a difficult start to the season? So, and I'm probably making it worse by mentioning it as well. But I think that It is, unfortunately, it is the worst start statistically in ALR history for a team and a constructor. Nigel goes across the line. He is at 9th fast at the moment. What about the champion? What about the Gamer, who was the former championship leader? He's down in 8th position at the moment. Gamer is in the Mercedes, and it looks like there's a bit of a chink starting to come into the armour now of Gamer after an incredible run of form to start the season off. Here's FIFA Beefy, and of course FIFA Beefy possibly could have and should have won the Chinese Grand Prix, really, couldn't he? Look how close he was to that barrier there. Goodness me, very close indeed there. He couldn't have fitted a matchstick in between the wall and the tyre of FIFA Beefy. Magnificent stuff indeed then, with the salmon pink helmet. I absolutely love it. I really tip my hat off to you, good sir, as he flies past the camera, going up to the DRS line, and now he'll come up to the finish line as well. It's quite a long way down to the start-finish straight in here in Azerbaijan, and it's quite a short run down to turn 1 as well, so keep an eye on that, as it got a bit frisky, didn't it, down into turn 1 last night in gold. Then FIFA is gone into 9th fast at the moment, and Nigel 3 seconds down, and as he is as I think he was just coming into the pits on board with Ayrton at the moment. He is 16th fastest. He is in the drop zone. He's also cut the corner there, as Nico Hulkenberg also cut the corner there as well, unfortunately, and that ended his race in 2017, didn't it? We've got Wilson saying Red Bull plus Azerbaijan, not good. Gio, hello. Very good stuff indeed there. Gordo was 3/10 up and got damaged at Diashi. I made my debut for ALR here in Baku last season. Oh goodness me, and that just shows how much attention I pay. So Diash there made his debut in ALR here last season. Got P10 in gold. Good stuff indeed then. Maldonado saying happy anniversary. Exactly the same for BP. Quite satisfying. Wilson saying exactly the same time for BP and Maldonado. New potatoes retired from the session there, and that's why you guys need to be in the comments there, because I didn't even notice that about BP and Welsh Maldonado is exactly the same time. And look at that is down to 3 thousandths. That is down to thousandths of a second. That's 3 decimal places. That is incredible, isn't it? If anyone remembers, if you're old enough to remember it, the 1997 European Grand Prix in Jerez, when we had 3 times exactly the same time, didn't we? It was Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher and Heinz Harald Frentzen, wasn't it? And we've also got Steve and Ayrton with the same times as well, as a 40.084. That is magnificent. It just shows how tuned these Formula 1 drivers are, isn't it? It's magnificent. These incredible athletes are fantastic. Down to 3,000 of a second, and they are all, it looks at that, that's absolutely a mega 17, because remember, this is quite a long old course as well. It's a long old circuit, this one is. As Diashi there is getting a bit too close to the barrier there. He's left a bit of souvenir for the fans. Unfortunately, Diashi is going to have to come back into the pits then, because the understeer on that racing point is going to be horrific there. And he is not going to be a very happy bunny at all, is he? As just on board with him now, and just saying, look, Goro saying that DRC, funnily enough, I have my anniversary here as well. I'm pretty sure I made my silver debut here last season. Didn't end very well, though. So Welsh Rider saying, now this is dodgy. Gordo saying, I'm now playing a game of Am I Safe then? Let's take a look to see where Gordo is. He's currently 10th at the moment. Is that safe? In my humble expert opinion, which is not an expert opinion, I would say I would go out again, Gordo, but do not quote me on that, because you might waste an extra set of soft tyres, and which really helps you, doesn't it? Really, that really helps your decision, doesn't it? So do not listen to me. That's all I say about that. Talking about, that's a very good point there from Gordo. Is he safe though? Because he's done a 1:39.277 there. He's 2/10 a second in front of Nigel and Baz. Sirius Mushroom is also out on circuit as well. Welsh Maldonado is safe. She is fairly happy in 6th position there, and it's very good to see Welsh Maldonado at the sharp end of the field once again. She's been a bit of the doldrums as of late, hasn't she? Same with Curly as well, as the 2 runners there who had a very good start to the season. Unfortunately, it's tailed off slightly, hasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken now, which I probably am. The gap between Gordo and Steve is about. That is quite a bit of time, isn't it? Almost 8/10 a second. However, I was eavesdropping the Gold Drivers chat last night. And it's because I want to make myself sound smart, but probably shouldn't listen to it, really. I should listen to the Silver Driver, shouldn't I? Haha, banter. I think what I was eavesdropping was the evolution, the track evolution here in Baku is quite steep, isn't it? It really is. It's very steep indeed, and almost as steep as the exit of turn 15 down into 16. On board Sirius Mushroom then, as he is also in the midfield section at the moment as well. Gordo is happy, and he's he's going to be happy. Is he fairly safe there? We'll find out with less than a minute to go. Serious Mushroom on the soft compound tyres. We'll see the mediums, I think, in qualifying 2. Not here tonight in qualifying 1 then. Sean Hammers is also out on circuit as well. He is currently out of qualifying. Serious Mushroom goes into 10 fastest. Good 17 then. Steve is out on circuit. And what about Sean Hammers then? Sean Hammers then very, this is going to be very tense for Sean Hammers. Has he done enough? It looks to be good. It is good. It is very good. He's in 11th position then, but that has now put extra pressure on the likes of Steve, Ayrton, Billet, and Diashi. We have got 5 cars out of qualifying at the moment, and then here are the drivers at risk. Wilson, unfortunately, he has gone into the castle section. He's done his best impression of Total P's. Unfortunately, he is out of qualifying. Diashi and Billet are also staring into the abyss and beyond. Ayrton in also 70th position, and Steve in 16th as well. It's less than 100. It's less than a tenth of a second. It's incredible, isn't it? 800 of a second separates Bradfield and Steve Mountain. That is Hero and Zero stuff. So there's a big old gap between Baz, Nigel, and Bradfield. Then so someone could perhaps sneak in there. And on board as just as we're watching the Ferrari coming down the hill now into turn 15. Billet is just in front of Nigel here. Is this going to be a problem? Because I think Billet is on a lap as well. Oh, goodness me then. So Nigel there is not going to be too happy with this. Billet is a band. Oh, where is he? He's off the circuit. He's got off the circuit there. Billet, he's put on too much power. And he is in the wall, I think, then. So Billet there is out of qualifying. That's a big blow. And Nigel's invalidated his time then. So he is out. He's not out of qualifying, but his lap is done. Checker flag. Ayrton didn't make it. Oh, goodness me. What? Didn't he make it? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Then here comes Baz coming out to the line, and Baz is up into 8th position. Good 17th there. Steve looks like he's finished his time. It's Ayrton finished his time. He improves. Ayrton does, but he's out of qualifying, unfortunately. Diashi is also on a lap as well. This is great broadcast, isn't it? Really is. I don't know what's going on really, but Bradfield can improve. Steve doesn't look like he's got through either, or has he got through? Is this checker flag really throwing me? I think it might be. Here comes Diashi coming out of turn 15. He hasn't set a time just yet. Diashi hasn't. Accelerating away then. And here we go then, as we're now coming up to the line, and that is the last decision made from Diashi. Now he's got to thread the eye of the needle in this racing point. Goodness gracious me, he was close to the barrier there. They're coming up to the line then. As you've already mentioned, the line is quite a distance around then. There is the DRS and Can Diashi there. This is looking a good time. Is it good enough? It is 16 fastest. It's not quite there. Steve has just made it through by the skin of the nose cone there. Ayrton out qualifying. What about Bradfield as well? I say he's made it through by the skin of his nose cone, but Bradfield then, let's see what he's got in the locker. He was on the front row last week. He is through in 11th position, Bradfield. That's goodness me. And look at how close it was there for Gio to be knocked out of qualifying. Goodness gracious me there. And yes, I'm glad I didn't listen to me, but I don't think Gio came out anyway. But gracious me, and that was Track Evolution at its very best there. Unfortunately for the likes of Steve and Steve and Co, they're out of qualifying. Goodness gracious me. And look at that then, but we're going to be more concerned about the bottom 5. Wilson didn't get out there and set a time. He was in the wall there as he did a Charles Leclerc, unfortunately. Billet out of qualifying as well. He only did one time run, I think. Ayrton down in 18th position. 17th position is Diashi, and Steve in 16th position there. So I think that Wilson and Steve are quite, the two Red Bull cars are not very good, having a nightmare around here. Not only in gold, but in silver as well. And Steve, I'm quite shocked to see Steve out qualifying. Look how close Nigel was to being knocked out as well. He invalidated his time, didn't he? So that could have been very, very costly there for Nigel, but luckily he has made it through into qualifying 2. So Gio's saying, all right, I've messed up, I'm out then, but luckily, good job, it's all about hindsight and stuff, otherwise it did feel like he was out there, and it's, oh, lovely shot here, then we'll just take a look inside the garage, and before we've gone back out and having a look at this temporary pit building, this is, isn't it, of course, there's Of course, as they erect it and disassemble it, don't they? Before and after every race, don't they? Here in Baku, then, as this is normally like a, I think that isn't there like like a political building around here somewhere. I think Ted Kravitz did a really nice piece of Azerbaijan in 2015 before he came here for the first race in 2016, which annoyingly was the European Grand Prix instead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, which does annoy me a bit. But there we go. That just shows how sad my life is. I get really annoyed by silly things like that. But there we go. As Arthur's just saying, I had to let people pass. I didn't have enough time then. So yeah, unfortunately for Arthur, then he was the victim of the clock. Unfortunately, he was out, and that's why he didn't get another time in. Payne's evening. Good evening, Payne. So we've also got Gordo saying 1 second separates the top 16 on a very long circuit. Two drivers had the exact same time as well. Thank you to Wilson for letting me know about that, because I really was oblivious to that. On board with New Patel then, as he is looking very strong here tonight, isn't he? He's third in the World Championship. New Patel, he's only got one win here in silver. He probably should have had more than one win. He's been a very unlucky chappy, hasn't he, really, New Patel? Of course, in the Dutch Grand Prix last season, he lost the win by 200ths of a second. The closest ever finish at ALR. Oh my word, that back end is a very excitable young dog, isn't it? Oh goodness me, it's like an excitable puppy. Very much wagging his tail then, coming out of the castle section. But going back to New Patel, yes, he has won one race there, but he probably should have won a couple more than that. But unfortunately, it's not always been a very good. I wouldn't say very good. He's just had a lot of unluckiness, hasn't he, in this. In this league, hasn't he? Of course, still the first ever bronze world champion. I do feel though that the game does not come to the strengths of New Patel. Remember 2019, he was magnificent, wasn't he, in the bronze league? And I think that it was not down to the competition, because there is a lot of strong drivers in bronze in the inaugural season, wasn't it? We had the likes of Sean Hammers. We also had Gurman in there as well, a gold driver. Who won the silver championship last season as well. So Gurman is no slouch, is he, by any stretch of the imagination? We had a Forza Ferrari in there as well. There's a lot of good drivers in there. Curly was in there. Ayrton, Rentbo, or aka Welsh Maldonado, was in there as well. There's a lot of strong drivers, and I think Gamers in there as well at a certain point in his career. So yes, it's the bronze league is not slouchy by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think slouchy is even a word, is it? But there we go. Well, definitely not in this context, I don't think. But I do like to make up words here and there. So just on board now with New Potatoes at Wilson, I think is asking if anyone fancies coming out the pits. Well, currently we have two cars out on circuit at the moment. It is a New Potato, but I have a feeling that New Potato is just testing the limits of the soft tyres here before he comes back into the pits, and a swap to the medium tyres. We've also got Serious Mushroom, but everyone else is staying in at the moment. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that the track evolution is not a myth. It is exactly real, isn't it? Very much like the Tooth Fairy, isn't it? There is no myths in my world. Yes, the track evolution is definitely going to be a major part in this qualifying session, isn't it? And I feel then that there's going to be a bit of a waiting game, so it might be a bit old school qualifying here, where I'm going to have to find some fillers to perhaps tell you about in this qualifying session. Well, Paynes is busy making some tea then, so I'm not really sure if I have a feeling that he definitely believes about the myth of the track evolution, because he's gone to the kettle and put a brew on, hasn't he? Serious Mushroom's definitely not in the kitchen at the moment, unless he's a very talented man. But I think that he's probably in the hot seat now, isn't he? As he is now winding up and getting ready to start his lap. Gordo is saying that I'm sure he said that I actually love this circuit, especially in real life, and it's not bad in the game. I do enjoy the circuit actually, and watching it in real life. I hate driving this circuit mainly because I'm so terrified of the walls. I usually end up in the walls, really. But there we go. So I should be scared of every circle on F1, really, if that's the case. Because I think I've been in every single wall at least once on the game, then, which I got to say is an achievement in and of itself. And perhaps PlayStation should add that as a trophy for F1 at 2021, because that would be a trophy I'll get hands down. As Curly's saying, I'm thinking the same thing then, as it looks like at the moment that no one is very keen to go out. We've done 5 minutes in this qualifying session. We're at a very unusual stage here in qualifying at the moment, because this 3-part qualifying eradicated the long waits, didn't it, of qualifying, because the old school qualifying, especially when we had the 1 hour qualifying, there was not much track action, was there? It was kind of just like who's going to blink first kind of thing. Usually it was the minorities that came out first, wasn't it? It was more of these smaller teams then who wanted their brand, didn't they, on the TV for a bit of coverage. And we used to see the minority team there just coming out first, didn't they, with the likes of Esteban Tuero, Shinji Nakano and co as well. Mark Genet and Luca Badur and IGI as well. I do miss the minority team. I think it's a very interesting. I seen a very interesting question on Facebook not too long ago about which team would you bring back if one of the older teams had. I gotta say, I do quite like the Jaguar livery. That was a fantastic livery, wasn't it? I love the British Racing Green. Hopefully we'll have it back with the Aston Martin in a couple of days' time. But I would love the Jordan back as well. Jaguar, Jordan, Minardi for me, definitely. 3 teams that I absolutely adore. And maybe going back to the old school Sauber team as well, when they was sponsored by Petronas. I really like those liveries as well. It was very unique, a very unique livery, wasn't it? Serious Russian comes across the line, and he has put the first competitive time in of a 40.4. Lovely stuff indeed there from Potato. Then just wait, I'm seeing if there's a fry out there. There is. It's a Nigel. He's just coming out of turn at 15 as well. So I'm just saying, look, Dylan saying, let's play a game called Who Wants to Go Out of the Pit. Said Gordon saying, I'm not going out. I'm going out. Why not? Wilson saying Hispania, definitely bring them back. I was talking about Hispania the other day, the HRT team. They I really like the 2011 livery, actually. I quite like the checkered flag on the side of the car. Unfortunately, I didn't like the sponsors where it said this could be you, which I didn't realise it said that until I actually got the F1 2011 game. So just shows how much attention I pay in the world of Formula 1. Of course, they had the Narain Carter Kane. I think it was Liuzzi as well, wasn't it, that season before they even made a debut to a certain Australian driver by the name of Daniel Ricciardo, didn't he, back in 2011 in Silverstone. And goodness me, that he really became a talent, didn't he, quite quickly when he stepped into the Toro Rosso car for 2012 with Jean-Eric Verne. Oh goodness me, I'm throwing names out of the hat here, and I quite like Jean-Eric Verne. He's the only double world champion in Formula E as well, if anyone was interested to know, which is quite a impressive feat, isn't it? I think that Verne was actually quite a talented driver, really, and I think that he probably would have got the Red Bull seat if all the cards fell into place, kind of thing. And I think the Red Bull would have loved to have had him at this stage of proceedings now. But that's my opinion, and there we go then. As Gordo's saying, I put 10 laps of fuel in. So it looks like Gordo's going for a practice run here, isn't he? So he's going to probably go out and come back in the pits because he doesn't really want 10 laps of fuel, does he? And why is that, I hear some of you may ask. And of course, I don't think anyone would be asking that, but I would be asking that. But that's because that I'm a few screws shy of a full load kind of thing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the reason why that is the car is heavier. You're going to be slower, especially with the stopping and starting around your the opening lap then, because you've got to stop that fuel. You've got to also accelerate that fuel as well. Then it just causes so much extra load on the tires. You'll just be slower accelerating away, won't you? Here comes Nigel. He comes across the line. He is second fast at the moment, but a whisker. This is incredible, isn't it? This silver field is so ridiculously close, and I can't keep up with them. It's absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's one of the best competitive fields that you will ever see in all of esports, Formula One, whatever you want to call it. But just as I say that, Troy decides to eclipse them all. They're 0.8 of a second in front of Serious Mushroom on the medium tires as well, and the championship leader is really getting to the swing of things now. Is he a magnificent performer, Troy is. He's been threatening though with the he's been threatening with that pace, hasn't he, in his whole career in ALR, and he's in a sweet spot at the moment, Troy is, isn't he? He's very much a driver that really has honed his craft, doesn't he? And now he's putting it all to good use. He's using that experience now to his advantage and making some huge waves in bronze. Sean Hammers goes second fastest in the Mercedes. Good stuff indeed there. As Welsh Maldonado, it looks like she's had her wings clipped slightly there because she's got no wing at all in that Renault, and she'll be coming back to the pits pronto, I would say. Baz just going up into fifth fastest there on his Alpha Tauri car. We've got a racing point now, BP, who is flying past me now as he comes up to the line, and this is first debut ALR race then here in the racing point. Let's see what he can do. As Wilson then is, well, before I go to Wilson, let's take a look as BP goes across the line. My goodness me! And wow, I think too, well, he was definitely doing the Mercedes tactic of sandbagging. Yes, the Racing Point is technically a pink Mercedes this season, but my goodness me, BP has really thrown the gauntlet down, hasn't he, with a 39-3 there, and that is definitely going to ruffle some of these drivers' feathers here tonight, isn't it? FIFA BP coming up to the line then. What's he going to put himself in full fastest in the Ferrari? Gamer then is just coming into turn 15 as well. We've got TK, who is about to finish off his lap. We're on board now as he is now coming up to the line then. TK then, as we look down on TK making his full debut tonight then for the Alfa Romeo. He's been in 3 races already in silver, and I really like this. I really like this guy. He's been magnificent, hasn't he? And he shows it again there with that incredible pace set. Here comes Gamer coming across the line, full fastest at the moment. Gamer he was the benchmark at the beginning of the season, but he's on a bit of difficult form at the moment, is he, in the Mercedes? But remember, it's not all about qualifying; it's about the race as well. And I think that's what's made the racing so good in silver this season, because drivers really do turn things around quite nicely indeed. As Wilson was saying then that need 2 more teams on the grid. Get Hulk and Albon in a team, and Callum Eilert and K-Mag in another. I absolutely agree with that. I feel that 20 cars is not 10 teams, 20 cars is not enough in Formula 1. It needs to be at least 24 cars, in my opinion, minimum of 22 cars. And I really am a big fan of getting new teams in and making them competitive as well. The last 3 teams we had in F1, well, no, I don't say the last 3 teams, because Haas was the last new F1 team in, and they've done a really good job. They really have indeed, especially the first season they've done well. They've tailed off slightly in the latter years, but hopefully have a better season this season. But the three new teams in 2010 were pretty appalling, weren't they, really? It was such a, it was almost guaranteed who was going to be knocked out of qualifying that season. It was basically going to be one of those 3 teams plus one of those FIFA goes into 5th fastest. It was going to be one of those 3 teams plus a maybe I don't know, a Toro Rosso or something like that. So really, it was a bit disappointing, really, wasn't it? But it was nice to see 24 cars or so on the grid. As Wilson saying, Welsh Maldonado has crashed the castle section, no wing. Then Welsh Maldonado saying, thanks for exposing. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the crash on the stream, but I definitely caught a wingless Renault. Unfortunately for Maldonado's point of view, but of course, Sarah, let's hope then that she can have a clean run of half finish. We're on board of her now. She goes across the start-finish line to start her lap with 2 minutes to go then, and I think that a lot of drivers need to start to think about getting out there, really, because look, I'll say they are very cool as a cucumber in the pits at the moment. Troy's retired from the session, and we still got Paynes, Gordo, and Bradfield, who've just come out of the pits now. Baz is back in the pits. This is there is 2 minutes to go on the clock. They need to get out there pronto. Gordo saying, I put myself in a sticky situation here. Serious pressure. I went out too early. I'm going out then. Diaz saying, loving getting demolished by my new teammate. Gordo also saying, I'm probably going to get eliminated, but I'm taking a risk. Is a Diashi, but of course your new teammate BP is looking a very strong customer indeed, Diashi. But nonetheless, Diashi, as much as I do say we do compare you on teammates, well, I certainly do anyway, but that's because but no one really listens to me anyway. But don't worry about Diashi then, it's all about the race, isn't it? But BP, of course, making his debut tonight, and has really done an impressive time then. It's not just you, Diashi. I think that a lot of drivers are going to be very concerned by that time now that BP has put in there. A minute to go in this qualifying session. Welsh Maldonado is having a clean lap here, then went in slightly too deep into turn 15, but nonetheless then she has still got all the pieces on the car. Out of turn 15 then, 16 I should say, I don't know where I am on the circuit, and coming up into the line as well now. Outlaps then for Paynes, Gordo, and Bradfield starting this lap as well, but here's Welsh Maldonado. I wonder if she's got enough fuel for one more lap then. I'm wondering then if this might be a banker then, and then maybe going for the full-out attack later on in the session. We'll say later on then, because at the moment, and she's only got one more run, and that's it. She is out of qualifying at the moment, and by the slenderest of margins. Bradfield is on the back of the course, on the back straight, as to say, going down into turn 4 as well. BP is very happy with his time now, as he is probably sitting very pretty in first position at the moment. Good stuff indeed there from BP. Might get his first pole position on his debut as well. We'll talk about the pole positions and the run of form in qualifying when we get into qualifying 3. But of course, we got to you got to focus on qualifying 2 first, and who are going to be the 5 bottom drivers? They are Welsh, Maldonado, Baz. We got Bradfield, who is on the front row last time out in Monaco. Gordo, and also Payne's out. Payne's also on the bottom 5 as well. Goodness me, the run of form is absolutely means nothing here in silver, does it? This is great stuff indeed. Checker flag has fallen. Baz is not going to. It's called a day. Welsh Maldonado is also out of qualifying as well. Nigel is defending his position. Sirius Mushroom is looking very precarious, and I think Curly is as well. Bradfield has had a clout with the wall, but he is kept to, oh goodness me, they do make him very strong in McLaren, don't they? Great stuff indeed. That he's gone wide. That's invalidated his time now. Bradfield is invalidated his time, unfortunately. The McLaren is just understeered there. He's going to be kicking himself. Payne's there is just coming to the castle section as well, and here comes Gordo then. What can Gordo do? He is taking a risk, as he said then. So going down as well, and Equals saying Payne's in silver. Yes, indeed he is. And of course, that is one of the transfer news that we was going to bridge. We broke to earlier on the broadcast. As Payne's a very quick customer, isn't he? And the gold standings really didn't show what Payne's capable of. Unfortunately, though, Payne's does carry over his -5 points that he got in gold, so he starts off with -5 in the World Championship here tonight. Then Gordo coming up to the line. Then is he going to abandon? Nope, he's carrying on. Gordo is, and he goes. Nate Fast is a good stuff indeed there. Nigel is a second up then. We'll keep an eye on what Nigel does then, because Nigel is out of qualifying at the moment then, so it's between Payne's, Nigel and Sirius Mushroom. Payne's is in third, fastest, great time indeed. Here's Nigel, and now he is just there's a straight line to himself on the finish line. He is coming underneath me as well, and here comes Nigel, fastest in the Ferrari. He is on the soft tires. He is through into qualifying 3. Fantastic indeed. That BP saying Diashi, don't worry mate, get some points for the team then. Gordo saying yes, I thought he was out, so just on board with much as well. Yes, I think Diashi is out then, but BAP now giving Diashi there just a bit of a morale boost, isn't he? As we're going to qualifying at 3 then. Anyway, as oh goodness me, so Everton just scored, great stuff. But Bradfield out qualifying, he ran wide, and because of that he invalidated his time. Baz in 14th, Welshman on 13th, Sirius Mushroom in 12th position, and Curly in 11th position, and he is absolutely fuming. Sirius Mushroom with a plan now from Equals as well. Curly Mushroom is Curly Mushroom. I always do this. Curly Red is absolutely furious in the comments, isn't he? He is livid there, and I think he'd be inconsolable as he is out of qualifying. But having said that, then it's I think they might be even more angry if that happened, if he was out in the race. And so so hopefully he can be better in the race then. Bro Gorilla saying, good evening, Sean. Good luck to all the drivers. Bro Gorilla, a former ALR driver and a former commentator as well, actually, as he commentated along with me and Naughty in season 1 then. A lovely random fact for anyone who was interested. The Gamer is saying he needs to really find some pace here, so Gamer is feeling the pinch here of qualifying, and maybe in the championship as well for Gamer, because he was leading, wasn't he, up until Monaco a week ago. As we've also got Sirius Mushroom saying he's not even bothered there. I'm not feeling it. I don't think that some of the drivers are not feeling the love around here tonight, are they? It's a difficult track, isn't it? Very difficult to get right indeed. Then you've got to get into a flow then. Right then, as we are now then into qualifying 3 then. So in terms of qualifying this season, we've had 3 pole positions out for Gamer. Really right off the bat there. Australia, Bahrain, and Vietnam. Then Gamer was absolutely running the show, wasn't he? In silver. FIFA Beefy got incredible qualifying performance in China. He got pole position there. And then Troy had two pole positions in a row of the Dutch and the Spanish Grand Prix. TK got his first ever pole position in the got his first ever pole position in the Monaco Grand Prix. So let's see what TK could do as well. Angelique Muller saying, "Good luck, Silver. Thank you for letting me reserve yesterday." No problem at all, Angelique. There, as of course, Angelique was driving in the Williams car, wasn't she? And I think that she did a very good job indeed. Then, of course, it's a very difficult race to make your debut. This and Monaco, I'd say, is probably two of the worst races you could have made your debut on. Bro Grilla reckons FIFA beefy for the podium there. FIFA currently. Ansel Lapia as he, but he's looking very strong. The Ferrari is emerging out of the pits then of his FIFA's teammate, which is Nigel. TK there just flying past me as well. I looked up and I got very confused. Gio is very happy that Gordo is in qualifying for as well. Very chatty bunch tonight. I absolutely love it. Good stuff indeed then. And anyone who's a Southampton fan, I would look away now because it's 1-0 as Richardson has just scored for Everton. It's 1-0 by the way. I need to turn these notifications off because they're all just popping up on my phone in the top there. But unfortunately, if I turn them off, then I forget to turn them back on. But that might be a blessing in disguise being a Liverpool fan at the moment. Is I've got to say, it's that bad. I was absolutely I've got to say, I opened a champagne bottle last night after Liverpool won against Sheffield United, and not the Sheffield United of last season when they was in a very good run of form, and I think they finished well over in the top 10. But of course, I was bottom of the Premier League at the moment. Well, that's not what you're here for. Is that you're not here for the Premier League updates and all that kind of jazz? Well, maybe you are. If you are, you're kind of in the wrong place. But as Sir saying, "Go on, Payne's lad." There's Payne's there, who's gone back to his roots, as we already mentioned there earlier on the broadcast. Here's TK. He is the latest driver of Silver to be on pole position, and look at how much commitment they use through the castle section. And this is between you and me and the oh my goodness me, BP is in the wall, and New Potato has damaged his car as well. BP, who has really set a benchmark in qualifying too, is in the Armco. Oh, and there's debris coming off of New Potato's car as well. Oh goodness me, it's anarchy here in Azerbaijan. Oh goodness gracious me. And I think BP is went from a strong debuter to probably a strong contender for pole position, and all of a sudden it's come unraveled there. He is out of qualifying in the castle section as well. I was about to say actually that Emerson has shared a little secret between you and I, but he was saying that last night that he only goes through the castle section as TK has gone fastest. He only goes through the castle section at full beans in qualifying and not the race there, as he leaves a margin, doesn't he, of error. Gordo is second fastest at the moment then. See him, here comes Sean Hammers then, and what about Gamer as well? Gamer is abandoning his time then. Sean Hammers on a bit of a slipstream. He is second fast moment, 2/10 of a second away from TK, who is the benchmark in this qualifying session at the moment. Nigel is in the first part of the race on board now then, and here comes FIFA, comes up to the line. He is full fast at the moment, but Troy is on pole position. That's amazing time there from Troy. Look at those brake discs glowing. Fantastic. Here's Paynes and yellow flag and two, then there's one. The Alfa Romeos are cruising back to the garage then, and there they are on the other side of the circuit. Here's Paynes then, as he is now coming to the line as well. He's just willing this Williams on then till the finish line. Wow, flying past me, goodness me, so quick. And he is on pole position there by 2/10 of a second. Silver is on fire tonight. I absolutely love it. Paynes there 2/10 of a second in front of Troy at the moment, and that'll be Paynes' first pole position this season. Nigel Exton turned 16 then. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do then. The traditional black and yellow and green helmet, and he is coming out to the line in the Ferrari. Look at that, 8th gear, 203 miles an hour. And look at the speed builds up, man. As soon as he opens the DRS, and Nigel coming over the line, and he is third fastest at the moment then. That is an incredible first run of qualifying here in Baku. Amazing stuff. I'm loving this. And so at the moment it is Paynes who's on pole position then for Silver then, and I think this would be his first ever Silver pole position of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken. I think I am very much, no, I ain't very much mistaken, goodness me. Yeah, so Paynes, this would be his first pole position if he can stay there. Troy is alongside him on row 1 then. Of course Troy would have to be thinking about his championship campaign now. Paynes not in the championship battle just yet, but it's only round 8, of course he could sneak in there. Nigel in 3rd position, TK in 4th position as well. Then I gotta say the contenders to the crown now are really starting to queue, aren't they? With and FIFA Beefy has had a splendid second time now. He's up in the 3rd there. FIFA Beefy is looking strong as well. It's a Ferrari, all Ferrari second row. Great stuff indeed. And as I equal saying, nice one, Gordo. We got BP and Wilson did a Charles Leclerc there. As Wilson saying, I am stupid. We've also got BP saying the same thing as well. As unfortunately, BP going into the wall. But don't worry, guys. Total Peas did that as well twice last night in the race. And so as long as they're doing the race, you're all good. We have also got Welsh Farnado. Oh, I do love getting carried. I do love getting carried in the constructors. But well, I'd say that Welsh Farnado, you do have 36 points on the board. So I wouldn't say that's getting carried too much then, because you have contributed, and then you're one half of the constructors leaders at the moment now, which of course is with the Mercedes team as well. But at the moment, then there's FIFA Beefy then, who is just coming back to the pits. He is third fast. Among Gamer is now out on circuit. Serious Mushroom saying, Painter's beast in the moment. Gordo saying that was a hard lap then. Slammed the brakes on when I was going to the castle section because of BP's car there. Unfortunately, it's such a narrow part of the circuit, isn't it, down there, that you really ruin your qualifying. Yes, it is ghosting, but nonetheless, of course, it's going to scare you, isn't it? Especially when you're focused. And yes, everyone has the track map, but when you're fully focused on a qualifying lap, you ain't going to be even concerned about that track map. As Gordo said, it gave him a bit of a fright then. So I am very much, I'm sweating me ginger nut off here at the moment. Oh, goodness me. Summer is definitely coming. I think it's the first day of spring, isn't it? Or something like that. I don't know. What I do know is that it's getting very hot in here. It's also getting hot on the track as well. And I can say that because look at the sunshine bursting for the trees. It's absolutely lovely stuff here on the old part of the Baku city. As Gamer is not going to be concerned about, he's not concerned about being a tourist tonight, is he, Gamer? And he is not a tourist. He is here to win. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix needs to get back into winning ways, doesn't he? Gamer does. He has had 3 Grand Prix wins this season. He's had 4 in his career since Brazil last season. This man is a changed driver, isn't he? In car 59 in the Mercedes. And let's see what he can do. He has on a pole position since Vietnam, and that was a very squirrel there. Goodness me, then his back end there was wagging, and is Gamer going to carry on then? 3 minutes to go. He is looks like he's pointed to the pits, and is he carrying on? No, he's in the pits. He's abandoned that time. He would have lost a lot of time there coming down the back straight. Here's New Potato as well, as he is now coming up to the line. Wow, look how close he is to the concrete barrier there. And Potato is on pole position by 300ths of a second. 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. And I got to say, the pressure has been amped up to 11 here tonight between these drivers. And we've got Potato on pole position by 300ths of a second from Paint in second. Third is Troy, the championship leader. FIFA Beefy, a former pole sitter in his own right, is 4th. Nigel is 5th. TK in 6th position. Last to race's pole position. Sean Hammers in 7th. Gordo is in 8th. BP out qualifying. He's done a Charles Leclerc. Gamer in 10th position. He's abandoned his time then. The man who's 2nd in the World Championship. Pressure is on now in this Grand Prix. Oh, goodness me. And as we got serious man to say, BP should have got Shell Petrol. Equal saying the 21st of March is the first day of spring. Oh, good stuff. And so that just shows how much I know about spring and all that kind of jazz then. But it is getting a lot warmer, isn't it, as well? So you can't really disagree with that. But having said that, I had to put on my old gloves coming home tonight. Goodness me, it's a very chilly night. We got serious man to say, Massa don't like springs, and especially Barrichello springs. Yeah, I got to say, watching that back at the 2009 Hungarian Grand Prix, Serious Russians commenting on there. Barrichello's, I think it was the rear suspension, rear crash structure, wasn't it? It failed on Barrichello's car, and the spring came off there and absolutely clouted Massa in the head there, just above in his helmet there, just above his was it right eye or left eye? It was a scary old incident as well. Of course, Barrichello and Massa are really good friends as well, didn't they? So I bet so Barrichello was probably absolutely horrified and inconsolable about that, wasn't he? But luckily Massa, as TK goes third fastest there, and look at how close it's getting there. But yeah, going back to Massa, yes, Massa, I don't think he was ever, as Dan has said before, the other people I've spoke to about the incident there, Massa's never been the same driver, has he, since that horrific freak accident there. And that was in a run of very unusual accidents as well, and I'm sure that one of the young drivers, Henry Surtees, lose his life as well just a couple of weeks before that Hungarian Grand Prix. It's very odd, isn't it, and very scary of how these freak accidents seem to come in like quite a close close run, doesn't it? But yeah, that was back in 2011. But thankfully, Massa's okay now. But unfortunately, it was never the same driver, was he? Sean Hammers then is currently on a lap now. As he goes through turn one, is TK then just abandon his lap. Then he's third fast on the second row at the moment. There, TK is about now. He's on pole position in Monaco, so he might have to settle for the second row of the grid here tonight. Sean Hammers flying underneath me and getting up to the turn 4 as well. Look at how much commitment they put into this into these right angle 90-degree right angle corners. Absolutely amazing stuff there. I could stand in awe and watch these drivers go around every day for the rest of my life. But of course, I can't do that. If I get paid, I'll definitely be doing that. But unfortunately, I ain't going to be paid for doing that because otherwise, yeah. See you later. New Potato is retired from the session now. He is currently our pole sitter, but now though he cannot defend himself, and with Payne's emerging out of the pits as well. I think TK is done. Troy is out on circuit. FIFA and Nigel is as well. Gordo and Gamer are out there. Gamers are very much at the ultimate pressure cooker at the moment. He hasn't set a time, has he? The man who's second in the World Championship. TK is a third fast, and as he is bailed out then of his qualifying session as well. Sean Hammers there in turn 16 as well. That is it. And now then he is going to have to thread the car through these concrete barriers. It's like a concrete tunnel, isn't it? This final part of the lap, man, running slightly wide then to the left-hand side of the concrete barrier. Don't want to get too close to those barriers because it upsets the aerodynamics, apparently. And Sean Hammers there coming up to the line. He's done a 39 flat. Is this going to be improvement? It is indeed. It's fifth fast. He's on the third row of the grid for the Mercedes. Good stuff indeed. Then Troy is invalidated this time. Oh, goodness me, the championship leader's invalidated this time. He ain't going to improve here. And Troy is going to only be fourth. I say only. That's still a very good position to be in here in Baku, but he would be disappointed with that. Is that an opportunity lost there for the championship leader Troy, who's been on pole position twice this season. Gordo, it looks like he's coming onto the line as well. Gordo fell by the fifth fastest, underlining that he's on some mega runner form at the moment. And here comes Gamer. He's in third fastest, and that's a great time in the end that's a great time in the end. There's a Page is on pole position, and Page is on pole position. Nigel's moved up in the fifth fastest, and where's FIFA? I don't know where FIFA is, and it's on board there with Page, who has got to pole position in the Williams there. What an amazing time there from FIFA. From Payne there. He is just rocked up in this league and has took pole position in his first qualifying of the season. Magnificent stuff there from Payne there. Really good stuff indeed there. And the Williams team are going to be absolutely overjoyed with that result, aren't they? Good stuff indeed. FIFA got up in the third in the end as well. Great final effort there from FIFA Beefy. Amazing stuff indeed then. Payne's on pole position by a tenth of a second there from New Potato, who is second. Track Evolution was definitely very much a real thing here, wasn't it? It wasn't just me blowing hot air out of my eating thing. FIFA in third position. Gamer fourth. TK fifth. Nigel in sixth. Troy down in seventh position there. Eighth position is Gordo. He is fuming. Ninth is Sean Hammers. BP crashed in the castle section. He is 10th on his debut for the Silver guys. So much for Troy being beat up. Then GG Payne's then been doing 38s in practice, then a 35, then a 38.5. As Dylan saying good luck to Silver as well. And look at this, no rain here in Azerbaijan. Normally there is normally there has been rain, hasn't there, in the last two events then, but Baku in ALR, but not tonight then, and great stuff indeed. Just now getting up to the start of the Grand Prix here in Baku as well, as I quickly get rid of all my notifications, and there we go. Let me adjust me hairpiece as well, because I don't want to get me my Brad Pitt dreadlocks in front of me. We need to get going then. Payne's are saying let's go. We've also got Wilson saying that I need it, Dylan there. So unfortunately Wilson right to the back of the field, isn't he, in the Red Bull. But this is a place where you can't overtake them, but you've got to keep it calm, you've got to keep it cool. Steve is left for Sasha. No, it's not good, is it, for Steve? He is down in 16th on the grid then. Can he get back in? He needs to get back in pronto. Right, let's go for the grid, shall we, from front to back then. And so we got Nigel on the soft tires. Remember last night, Indian Jesus started on the soft tires, and he was magnificent, wasn't he? What a start there from Indian Jesus. Absolutely fantastic. And he was leading the Grand Prix, wasn't he? So keep an eye on Nigel then. He is in sixth position, starting a little further back. Hard tires for Curly. He was unhappy in qualifying. Same with Welshman and Aldo, Baz, Steve, Billet, and Wilson. Diashi is on the soft tires in the second. Williams, Welshman has been disqualified right from the get-go. So is Baz as well. We've got Ayrton on the medium tires, and Steve is back in the session. Ayrton on the medium tires, Bradfield and Cyrus Mushroom on the medium tires. Everyone in the top 10 also on the medium, apart from Nigel. Payne's on pole position then for the first time in his silver career. And he's going to be loving life, isn't he? Second position is Nude Potato. Third position is FIFA Beefy, and he is looking strong here tonight. Gamer, who is in front of his championship contender. That is crucial, I feel. TK in fifth position. Nigel in sixth, and Troy in seventh position. Then he is in the middle pack here, isn't he? Gordo in eighth position. He feels he could have gone quicker. Ninth position is Sean Hammers. 10th position is BP. He had a crash in the qualifying session there. Can he recover and get some points on his debut? Curly Red in 11th position. He's the first of the hard runners. 12th is Cirrus Mushroom now. He is not enjoying his experience here in Baku, is he? Welsh Maldonado and Baz in 13th and 14th. Bradfield then has gone from the front row down to 15th in this race. Steve in 16th position. He's a bit of a ghost at the moment. Hopefully he can get back in the session. Diashi is 17th on the soft tires. Diashi's going to be a thorn in the side of a lot of drivers, I feel. 18th position is Ayrton. 19th position is Billet. And Wilson is in 20th position there. As you can tell, he is very keen to get on with things then. 20 cars, 26 laps then. Silver, Azerbaijan is ready to get going. This is what you've all been waiting for. It's the start of round 8 and here in silver tonight then. Championship is very much poised, isn't it? It's a 17-point deficit between Gamer and Troye in the battle for the championship. 4 wins for Gamer, 3 wins for Troye. As who is going to get a win here tonight? We're going to get a new winner in this season. So we've only had 2 winners so far this season. There is a Haas going right off the track there. And here comes Payne's then, of course, and he is first pole position. How nervous is he going to be in the Williams car? And he's an experienced campaigner in ALR, isn't he? And goodness me, then he had a very difficult time in gold then, but silver. And once again, and he underlines he has the pace, doesn't he? Just seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time in the races. Can he get rid of that bad luck there and get himself some major points? Maybe a podium, maybe even a race win as well. But he's got some tough competition behind him tonight. The likes of Potato, FIFA, Gamer, TK, Nigel, Troye, Gordo, Sean Harris and BP. That is just the top 10. And they're just now waiting for Wilson to come up to behind as well. As let's get going then. Here we go then for the start of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Welsh Maldonado is very happy with her start. It was phenomenal, she said there, but I think that's a bit of sarcasm there, as unfortunately I don't think she got past the turn 1 on the formation lap. We're just waiting for those lights to on. Look at the heat haze coming off of the track there. It is a very roasty day here in Azerbaijan. The lights are on then, and Steve's car, he's done a Fisichella. Steve is gone already, but I don't think that Steve is oh goodness me, Steve is goodness me, now he's back in position there. And of course Jack Cole and Fisichella had that issue in the in Malaysia, didn't he? 2 years, I think. Benetton and Jordan. Now we're going here in Baku in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and here we go. Pate's had the perfect start, and look at FIFA, he's already on the outside, but he's got it a bit too hot there. And now then New Potato is going to go through. He has gone through, I should say. It's Gamer who's up to the inside. Gamer needs to make it, but he's dropped back slightly. Nigel is trying to go on the outside as well. TK is in fifth position at the moment. Troy has got in front there as just on board with TK's. He's having a look then, but Gamer is trying to go on the inside of FIFA Beef. He's the meat at the Ferrari sandwich. Nigel trying to go on the outside. He might have that position next. He's got the high ground into turn number 4. He does, but at the moment there, he is still in full position. That Gamer is saying great stuff indeed then. And look at this as we come into the chicanes as well. Curly's had an appalling start, hasn't he, in this race, and he's dropping down the order. BP has got partial numbers. There's free abreast here. There's free abreast then with serious mushroom there. Also trying to get past Sean Hammers as well. That's a lockup from BP. He's having a 9th position there. Sean Hammers dropping down the order. Baz in for 12th position there. We've got Nigel's in trouble there. And what's happened to Nigel? He's dropped down the order. Has he damaged the car? There's a queue then. Oh, he's got no wing. He's damaged the wing on the Ferrari. This is not good at all. And he's going to be limping on then. And now we've got Gordo who's going past. He has gone past. BP needs to watch himself then. As Nigel is going to understeer on that Ferrari. Curly's dropped right to the back of the field. There's problems for the McLaren driver. Curly is had a bad qualifying. And now he's struggling at the back of the field as well. Curly has said. Now just watching BP is we're on board with him. Nigel having some issues. Then Paynes has got 1.5 second lead already after the first half. Of phenomenal. That's debris on the circuit, and I'm not sure what car that is off. And we've got AlphaTauri and a Mercedes as well going side by side. His Baz is there. He is. He's flown past there. Sean Hammers looking in the foreground as well. Bradfield then up into 30th position. Welshman Nodders in the pits, and there's a lot of wounded cars out there. Baz in 10th position as well. Goodness me, 3 cars. It's Sean Hammers, it's Welshman Nodder, it's Nigel and Curly are also in the pits then. Oh dear then, so 4 cars having some issues then right from the get-go here in Baku tonight. And goodness me, guys, there's a lot of you watching tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Ayrton's back in the session. What's happened to Ayrton? I didn't even see him leave there. My apologies, Ayrton, as he probably feels that I have something against him, really, don't I? I seem to always give Ayrton a rather bad look, but he's down in 16th then, so Ayrton must have left the session then. That's not good, is it? But he's still in the race there, and he's in 16th position at the moment, and that is the main thing then. Troy is now right on the back of last week's pole sitter, which is TK at the moment. So we're on lap 2. Let's take stock. Paynes is leading then. He's 1.5 seconds in front of New Potato second. Paynes has taken off incredible. Oh my goodness me, how close they get to the bar there? It's inch perfect here. Someone damaged their end plate, but I didn't see who it was. I need to keep an eye on that and just take a look then. Is Gordo, it's not Gordo, who's damaged their car then. We're just taking a look then, and I'm wondering if it's we're just saying, look, there's Paynes there. Is it's New Potato? He has damaged the car. And Manu's second in the standings at the moment. Sorry, in the classification there. Oh dear, that's not good. Is it for that's not good at all? Is it for New Potato? I know Paynes there is just absolutely taken off, isn't he? Troy and TK then are going side by side. Troy, who's leading the championship, he is now right directly behind his championship contender then. So it's a strong start here for TK is in the pits then, and TK is coming to the pits. That's not a scheduled stop. DRS has been enabled then. And what's happened to TK? Gordo's having the 6th position. Magnificent stuff there from Gordo. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As Emerson saying Ayrton could take control of his car, and he's left the session. What's going on with Ayrton's car tonight? Oh goodness me, it's not going at all well, is it, for the AlphaTauri driver? As that is such horrible. Horrible rotten look for Ayrton, isn't it? Because remember, he got a 3-place grid penalty randomly in the Dutch Grand Prix as well. Not the Dutch Grand Prix, in I think it was the Chinese Grand Prix as well, I feel, where the game just decided to pull him back a couple of positions then. Billet and Wilson are getting very close to comfort at the moment, aren't they? Oh, goodness me, then might be getting a bit argy-bargy there, and as he's now going on the outside at the moment then, and look at this, he's going to have the inside then. Billet, Ayrton's back in the session and he's still struggling by the looks of it. I just read Emerson's comment as well. I'll read it properly in a minute because we've got a bit of banging wheels between Wilson and Billet here. Billet is still on the high from Monaco. It is getting very hairy scare. Oh goodness me, and Billet, their backs out there. As I was getting a bit concerned, they're going for the castle section, especially after the issues that Red Bull have had over the course of this event here in Baku. But Wilson there is flying up into 13th position now as well. So I had a bit of a scary jolt back there. I felt like I had a bit of deja vu then. If anyone's watched The Matrix, deja vu is not a good thing, and I don't think it's a good thing in this instance either. Emerson saying Ayrton still can't take control of his car. So he's trying to restart his console. He's back in control now. Good stuff indeed. All the Ayrton fans will be loving it, and all the BP fans will be loving this as well, as BP has set the fast on the race then, as he is now really started to really started to put his toe down, hasn't he? And he's behind the two guys that have dominated the championship in silver so far. 4 wins for Troy, 3 wins for Gamer thus far in this season. But BP there, a storming drive so far in his rookie race. And remember, he had issues, didn't he, in qualifying? But tonight, in the race now, he's put that to one side, he's put that to bed, and now he is very much on it like a car bonnet. Good stuff indeed there from the debutant tonight. Dylan Clark saying that BP is on a mission then. Dylan saying interested to see Diashi start on the soft tyres. And at last the first there as well. Dylan was saying for Jake and for Wilson. Well, Mo and Wilson's up in the 13th finish there, right behind his teammate. Both Red Bulls have had a very strong start to this season as well. Then Ayrton is back in control. Then he has lost a lot of time though, Ayrton has, hasn't he? And he's having a look down into a turn at number 6, I think that is now. Billet then, who's struggling a bit for the pace at the moment in that half. Then Ayrton all over the back of Billet at the moment. Then Steve and Wilson are going side by side. I think Wilson's up to 12 finish there, getting past Steve. Remember, they're both on the same amount of points in the championship as well. Ayrton's all over the back of Billet here. Billet is really strong for the pace there in that Haas car. Ayrton needs to keep it cool, and he knows he's lost a lot of time, hasn't he, in this race thus far with the issues he's had then with the technical gremlins in that Alpha Tauri car. But let's see what he can do now. He's going to scrub his overalls down now and get himself going. And he's having a look on the inside of Billet. He's having a look. No dice, and his Billet closes the door. But of course, then he's got every right to do so down into turn 16. 2.7 seconds to go. Now New Potato is a wounded car, though, isn't he? And now it's just allowing pace to really rocket away then. But BP is really rocketing in terms of the timesheets, isn't he? Flying at the moment. And FIFA's got past. Ayrton's got past Billet as well. And Ayrton up into 14 finish there. Billet dropping down to 15 finish. Billet there, sliding up the inside. There's going to be contact there. I've smashed my face. Oh, goodness me. But Billet there. And Ayrton there just about made out there. Goodness me. That might have been a day in a dollar short there. But let's see about this. FIFA is over to second position then. Now, has he got the pace then to get off the paints? This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Gamer is going to need to get past that New Potato. Look at how much New Potato's losing, and the damage on that Alpha Romeo is quite paramount now, isn't it? Cole said this is not going to help. It's not going to help his strategy one iota, is he for New Potato then? So New Potato then is going to just have to nurse his damage until he gets to a reasonable lap window where he can go onto the hard tires until the end of the race. That has to be his aim now for New Potato, unless he maybe tries prays for a safety car or something like that. Now as Steve is dropping down the order, and Steve is not in the session at the moment. Remember, he had connection gremlins last week as well, which really robbed him of a podium at the very least, then, didn't it, for Steve? So that's such a shame. And now he's dropping down the order once again with the two Red Bulls looking very strong then, and flying up the order. Diashi looking very strong on those soft tires, by the way, and he's catapulted right up the field as well. And look at this, and he's free of starting to Constantina up at the moment, and FIFA Beefy, and I think that New Potato is too far back. Gamer is having a look then, because Gamer can see Troy is now in the DRS zone, as is BP in DRS zone of Troy as well then. So they're coming after Gamer then, and Gamer, I feel, is on his back foot in terms of form at the moment there. So this is a great opportunity for Gamer to really stop Troy's momentum. He's going to look down into turn number 3. He's going to turn it. Oh, contact, and oh goodness me there. And look, BP is going up the inside there, and he's going to have a look on the outside. Oh, there's a lockup between BP, and BP is up in the full finish, and he's positioned his car absolutely spectacularly there, and he is up into fourth position there. Troy dropping down to fifth position. New Potato is sixth then, and Gamer, has he got damage? He hasn't got damage then. He threw caution to the wind there, Gamer did, and of course there, that risk has paid off slightly, but unfortunately he's nerfed New Potato all the way, and now New Potato has got another Q behind him then, as oh goodness me, getting very perilously close into that castle wall, and that's not where you want to be, as it looks serious much from Jake's position as well. Oh goodness me, but look at this, and it's Potato, and look, oh goodness me, Potato is struggling. He has got major damage on the Alfa Romeo now. It might have been minor damage, and now all of a sudden it's gone to major damage, hasn't it? And not good at all then. Carboy reckons Carboy is feeling that might be a penalty there for Gamer, as it did look a bit late, day late and a dollar short, didn't it? But I'll leave that down to the stewards as well. The Gurman is also saying the same thing as well then. So yes, it did look like a very much a risky manoeuvre, didn't it? That's very much say the least there for Gamer, but I have a feeling that the Gamer needs to. The Gamer is probably concerned about the run of form that Troy is on, but BP is now all over the gearbox. The Gamer as well, just on board with. Oh goodness me! I thought Serious Rusher was going to look there, but Goro there was just fainting to the left hand side of the circuit. Just saying. Oh, goodness me. And if it doesn't rain, but it pours for New Potato. He's got a speed in the pit lane issue. 5-second penalty now for New Potato. What a shame that it's not going at all well, is it, for New Potato. Ayrton in the pits as well, and so I think Ayrton's in way too early as well. There's some damage on the Alpha Tauri, is it? Let's take a look then. He's in the pits, he's got major damage, and New Potato is also coming out of the pits, and he's on the hard tire, so that's a blow then for Ayrton, unfortunately, on the nightmare race here in Baku. Back on board with BP then, who's gone from 10th up into full position then. Dylan is saying that New Potato is very unlucky, very, very unlucky tonight then. I gotta say, he's not getting the rub of the green at all at the moment, New Potato in Monaco, and again here tonight as well. He shows the speed in the qualifying session, but the races it just can't seem to get it together, can he? And it's I wouldn't say, well, that's a bit of a harsh statement, isn't it? I wouldn't say he can't get it together. It's he's just on a lot of bad luck, just as Dylan said there. Vintage is saying that Cirrus Mushroom is looking very solid indeed. He really is, isn't he? Cirrus Mushroom, he's up in the 7th now. He's got past Gordo. His next target is the championship leader, Troy. Fantastic. Pains the scene now by 3.8 seconds, almost 4 seconds with FIFA in second. Then I think FIFA might be looking over his shoulder in the next couple of laps or so, then with Gamer and BP and Troy all coming out. But look at this, we're on board now. Gamer then, is he going to defend it? I don't think he's going to be able to, because BP is like a freight train. He comes through, he is up in the 3rd position, into the pits there. What's the championship leader? Troy is in the pits then. Is there damage then for the champion? For the championship leader, he's in the pits now then. Where are the random mechanics as we're on board right now? He's in the pits then. That is damage, and Troy is having some major issues here in Baku. It's a major stumbling block, isn't it, here tonight in Baku? Troy is under damage as wing, and Diash has had a great stint on those soft tires, hasn't he? Great 17th there. The only driver to start on the soft tires, and a good 17th there from Diash. Really well done. Troy coming back out of the pits as well. My God, oh no! And TK and Nigel, I think, have come to blows. Oh, goodness me. We only seen the end of that then, but it looks like Nigel might have slightly nerfed TK off there. TK has got some major damage on that Alfa Romeo as well. And a very, I thought he was moving out the way there, TK is, but oh, goodness me, we just seen the end of that. And that is a bit of a brutal shunt, to say the least. And Steve is back in the session then, but unfortunately he's dropped down the order. And now Sean Amerson probably doesn't know about TK's major issues then in the Alfa Romeo. But what a shame. Oh, he's in the wall. And both Alfa Romeos had come majorly undone here. What a shame then from the Alfa Romeo team. And BP is now flying up into 3rd at the moment. He's having an amazing race. Dylan saying that was nasty. It really was indeed there. Nigel really getting his elbows out. Gordo's got off then, and of course there, look at this, he's had to reverse back onto the track, then he went flying off there. He hasn't damaged the car though, has he? So he hasn't damaged the car then, so that's okay for Gordo. He's going to just make sure those tires get back up to temperature, because they'll be quite cold. The BP is now in his 2nd position, and he passes the Ferrari driver. BP is absolutely mega, isn't he? He's now in his 2nd position in the Racing Point. Racing Point hasn't scored a point yet all season in silver, and now he has flown up in his 2nd now. Gamer is in a 4th position, and FIFA is in 3rd then. Gordo there just coming into the pit said, is he damaged the car? Or I thought he got away with it when he went down the escape route, but Gordo is coming into the pits as well. FIFA has got back past. Go! But as it then looks like he might have gone for a lunge there. And now Gamer is having a look there on the inside as well. So BP, I'm sorry, I think the FIFA is just having a bit of a lunge there. Gordo going onto the hard tyres now until the end of the race then. Car boys saying that's another set of medium tires for Troy, so it's a 2-stop strategy there from Troy. Remember last night that the race winning strategy was the medium to the hard tires, but I think that but remember what Emerson said then, the race winner, he said that he went for the cautious strategy because of the issues that he had in Monaco the week before, and unfortunately TK is out of the race then. I think he's going to be absolutely furious with what went on down in turn 1, unfortunately, and I think that there might be some slaps wrists or two here tonight then of what has been going on the Baku here tonight. Goodness me, as we've had two very interesting overtaking manoeuvres. Unfortunately, I think that last one really did finish off TK's race, unfortunately, didn't it, as he is out of the race, and he's the first retirement of the race here in Azerbaijan. back on board with Gamer at the moment, and he's got a double slipstream at the moment. As we're now on board, with Gamer as he is gaining. The TK has just commented in the comments as well. Then as he is a bit, I think he's rather furious with what occurred down in turn 1. Unfortunately, look at this, and BP is really struggling to get out the DRS range then of the Ferrari, but there's a big old lock up there from, I think it's from BP, and he's locking up those front tyres there. Those medium tyres are going to really struggle now, aren't they? But look at this though, as now FIFA is very quick in a straight line, but I think he's too far back at this stage then. And let's see then, is he going to go for a look then? No, locking up again. Troy is really hammering home then. I wonder if this might be a switch of strategy now. Is that Diash? He's on a great race, isn't he? As he is flying through the field there, doing a good job at Diash. I think someone's, oh my goodness me, and look, it's Welsh Ronaldo and their former teammate in the Haas cars, and look at that, there's another Haas that's gone through as well. Magnificent there from Gordo, and now Welsh Ronaldo up the inside, not quite, as Diash there is not going to let this one slip there. Remember, he was on course for some major points in the Dutch Grand Prix, and now then he could be on course for some major points here tonight then, but Welsh Ronaldo's on the hard tyres. Nigel he's got damage, Nigel, as a Diashi, and we've got Welsh Ronaldo, and Diashi's back on the outside. Maldonado's going to drop down into 13th, and she has then, and look at Gordo right all over the back, and look, there's a limping Ferrari in front of us as well, and Nigel, who is really going to, I think it's going to surprise the Diashi and co. Look at the two Haas all over the back of the Renault, as Welsh Ronaldo's trying to get on the power there, and look at this, and Gordo's on a fresh set of the hard tyres. Oh goodness me then, and look at this, and it's Diashi there on to get through, and look at this, and Nigel is struggling, he is struggling in the Ferrari, so we go through the castle section as well. Look at these killer cars, and oh goodness me then, there's 6, 7, 8 of them in this train, isn't there? As unfortunately it's getting very, very it's getting very hairy and scary, isn't it? As our FIFA Beefy is coming to the pits, and he's going to go into the hard tyres for the end race, or is he going to go for the go for the two-stopper? He's on the hard tyres, FIFA Beefy is. And Nigel then limping home at the moment in the Ferrari. That is, he's unfortunately on a bit of a difficult race there. And look at Welsh Ronaldo trying to get past Nigel. Nigel there is going to have all kinds of, he's got damage, as he does. Welsh Ronaldo knows, but she is now alongside Nigel. There's a Gordo coming up behind us. There's also, oh my word, then the two Hasses are going to come up there as well. Nigel then is harvesting as he is favouring off into the pits, and Gordo has used that to his advantage there. A double, triple slipstream. He's on the outside. Welsh Ronaldo is in contact. There's a slight bit of contact there, and look at this then, and now Maldonado's going to have to defend from her fellow country person in Curly, but at the moment there's still status quo. Welsh Ronaldo in 13th. Yellow flag. It's Paynes, the race leader's had some issues, and he's crawling. Paynes has had some issues, and BP's going to take the lead on the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. He has. PP leads the Grand Prix. Paynes is down into second position now. Oh goodness me then, what's happened to Paynes there? He's got some issues in that Williams, and he hasn't got damage, I don't think, but the race leader, who is dominating this race, has all of a sudden dropped off by 3 seconds at the very least, and that is a major problem then for the Williams driver as well. Paynes, who's had his first pole position here tonight in silver, but look at him, he's gaining on BP then. He's not going to let BP race away from him that easily, and look at him then, Paynes has really taken the lead here in as they come into the pits, and that was quite critical. Then Paynes there is coming to the pits, and they slow down in the pits, and Gamers in the pits as well. Because Sirius Marshall might want to have come in there, but the Williams mechanics would have been occupied with the race leader, which is Paynes, as he comes into the pits and a change in the tyres, and he's onto the hard tyres. That's a great stop there for the Williams team. BP also back out on circuit as well. Look, there's Bradfield there, as he is now starting to get into the mix as well. Troy is unfortunately a bit too far back. Look at FIFA trying to go for the undercut here. He is very close, but no cigar, unfortunately. And this is the top 4 of the Grand Prix. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very much Lionel Stern and going back to this incredible battle here. Steve has now got past Billet, and hopefully they've calmed down a bit since we last seen, but Gordo is just absolutely flown up the road there from Welsh Ronaldo, a second and a half, and Diashi is now in 11th position then. Goodness me then, that is absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. As we're on board now with the Ferrari FIFA Beach, as we now switch to Gamer, of course, the man with 4 Grand Prix wins to his name in silver, as he is very strong at the opening stage of this race. And look at the 2 cars at the back there of New Patel and Nigel, former ALR world champions there. having a bit of a nightmare race at the moment, aren't they? Unfortunately, both those two cars are yellow flag in free. FIFA is off the circuit, and he's crashed into the castle section. It's a virtual safety car. Oh, goodness me. FIFA's only just come into the pits. Oh, look, the nose cone's completely gone there from the Ferrari. Oh, FIFA is going to be kicking himself. He is right in the mix there. He came out right behind Gamer BP. Oh, he's gone to the barrier. He came out right behind Gamer BP and Pains. That is the battle for the lead then. Pains was very much in it to win it tonight then, but unfortunately he's damaged the car. That is pulling very much out of this one, hasn't it? Unfortunately, he will still be able to get some points off field, but that was a crucial blow there. I wonder if he'll go into the medium tires then to the end of the race then for the Ferrari driver into the pits. There comes a serious motion then. So we've got Pains, who is now leading with BP in second position now. Third position is a Gamer at the moment. And so far then the racing BP has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. The debutant is quick, but unfortunately though, it seems like he's getting a couple of bits of bad rubber. The green at the moment is a drive-through penalty. Also crashed in the castle section as well, BP. And now he's got a drive-through penalty there. He has to drive through the pits, doesn't he, at the pit lane speed limiter, and that is going to be a lot of time lost in this race then, and that is going to help Gamer and Troy. Gamer just rubbed the wall slightly there. He doesn't want to do that too many times, and these cars are strong, but they're not that strong then, as the amount of energy going through these cars then, even a slight touch of the barrier, the Armco, would damage the car, and he doesn't want to be doing that now, does he, with Gamer in very much in this battle to win now, with Paint coming a cropper right at this part of the castle section here a few laps ago. And look at the understeer on this Mercedes at the moment there. That Mercedes is not looking too handy at the moment there beyond that racing point. And look at this BP. He has pace there, doesn't he? But I feel that it's you short to get on the podium now, which is such a shame because this four car battle turned into a free car battle, unfortunately, with the demise of FIFA Beefy. And now with BP on a drive-through penalty has also come a cropper as well, unfortunately. So it's down to a two-car battle between Pains and Gamer, and Pains are potentially going for his first Grand Prix win of his ALR career, and brilliant stuff indeed then for the Williams car and on board BP. He has a drive-through penalty though. When is he going to take this drive-through? Serious Motion has come out quite close to the back of Wilson, as we're just watching Pains there. He gets past Baz and up into the lead of the Grand Prix once again. And Baz is on a very old set of hard tires, and he might be doing Knowlesy strategy. Remember that Knowlesy went from the hard to the soft tyre last night. Wilson there dropping down the order as well, but Wilson I think is doing something similar to Baz and going on to the harder tyre on. Look at these cars then. We've got to go to Ashley. Then we got Bradfield as just taking it, and BP has got past Baz, and BP is almost into the wall there. Did he damage the car? No, I think he just went slightly too wide, but look at the lockups there once again from that racing point now. Goodness me, he's not treating those tyres with much love and care, is he? BP he's stamping on that brake pedal, and Paint is leading. There's BP. He has a drive-through penalty though, doesn't he, with Baz, who hasn't stopped yet, and so he is not in this race battle as such. That yes, he is there physically, but unfortunately he's not there in terms of strategy at the moment. But having said that, safety car a couple of laps ago really would have pulled him into contention, but unfortunately the rubber the green hasn't happened tonight then for Baz. And on board with Gamer, remember BP has to serve his drive-through penalty within 3 laps then, so when is so I think the team would have to beat this lap, I would feel, wouldn't it? And Baz there, bit of contact there for Gamer. He can't afford to lose his front wing here, but he knows Troy, who's on a 2-stop strategy, so Troy is also going to be Troy is on a 2-stop strategy. He'll be on the soft tires towards the end of this race, so he might be quick, but I feel that he's going to have to be almightily quick then to be up with Gamer once again. And so Gamer does have that in his arsenal at the moment, and now he's coming up then to the back of Baz, but Baz is very quick on the back straight. And now we've got DRS and look at that, and not DRS, the extra aid for overtaking, and that is what Gamer needed. And he's up the inside and passes Baz and now up in the third position as well. So just going back to this I gotta say, this is a very fraught battle here in the midfield. I'm absolutely loving it. We got Bradfield, who's 8/10 second behind Diashi. Diashi's not coming back in the pits either in terms of the schedule strategy then. Welshman and Curly, unfortunately, will have to be coming back in the pits then as they're on the medium tires, and they will not be able to go to the end from there. Bradfield, then the straight was just ran out there for Bradfield. Well, Bradfield is doing a good job then. Unfortunately, I think Wilson's right on this occasion. This is where Bradfield seems to do very well in qualifying and appalling in the race, or very bad in qualifying and great in the race. He just can't seem to get it all sewn together, unfortunately, for Bradfield's case. But he's up the inside, then Diashi breaking later. Bradfield, I'm looking at bit of contact there as the McLaren got damaged. I don't think he has, and it might just been a bit of a little nudge then. After you, sir. But I don't think Bradfield wants to be doing that too often, does he? But Diashi is really struggling, and he's only doing 6 laps on the hard tyres, hasn't he, Diashi? But he's going to have to nurse these. He's gone from the soft to the hard tyre. The only driver to start on the soft tyre outside the top 10. Nigel also started on the soft tyre as well. Unfortunately, Nigel right the way down in at 19th position as they're now starting to queue up behind Diashi. Remember, this is the point for the final battle for the final point then of this race, and Gordo is very close to the back of Sean Hammers here. Gordo also looking strong as well. Sean Hammers there, who is came into the pits quite early on, then thrown on the set of hard tires. He's back up into 8th position mode now, Sean Hammers, but he does have Gordo for company, and let's see where he comes out then. Troy then is coming up to the back of Bass, is into the pits, comes at BP then. He has to serve his drive-through penalty. It's not too long of a pit lane here around here then. He should be out. Is he going to get out in front of the Red Bull and the Williams driver? I think he might just be able to then, so it's not too bad, but it is still quite a bitter blow in his quest for the lead here in the Grand Prix here tonight. Gordo's got past there. We've also got Diashi, who's been overtaken by Bradfield as well. We've also got Welsh Maldonado and Curly battling. Curly up in the 12th position there, while Maldonado dropping down to 13th then in the Renault, and Maldonado having a look then, but Curly there is too far in front at this stage. And we've also got FIFA getting past Billet as well, so FIFA also making a comeback through the field as well after unfortunately that unscheduled stop. The New Potatoes got the fast half of the race in the on the medium tires then as well. Pains has pulled away from Gamer in this late in this stage of the race. I mean, Pains is really showing some perform here tonight, isn't he? Remember, he's on negative -5 points, isn't he? Which he carried over from gold, of course. So so let's see what Pains could do then, as we are now going into turn 15 as well. So yes, and so at the moment he has the rub of the green, doesn't he? He's doing very well. Pains is Gamer is second, Bars in third position, but Troy is behind him in fourth. But Troy is on a 2-stop strategy, which means that BP will still be on course for a podium at the very least here tonight then. So good stuff indeed there from BP. We're on lap 16 out of 26 in this race, and we're waiting for the stops of Wilson and Bars, who are probably going to be going 2 more laps, I reckon, before coming into the pits and thrown on the set of soft tires then. And Troy will also be coming in at a similar time as well, as he is on the 2-stop strategy, which means he'll be thrown on the soft tires later on this race as well. So we'll be quick. Troy will, but will he be quick enough then to maybe steal that podium away from BP? It's going to be a tough ask, isn't it? Now then, Curly is doing a good job on these medium tires, isn't he? I think that Curly and Welsh Maldonado will be doing a similar strategy now to Baz, and as Steve has got past Welsh Maldonado. Steve is up into 13th position. Unfortunately, Steve having some disconnection issues there and really racing with a hand tied behind his back, so to speak, figuratively. Unfortunately, well, not literally, obviously, because obviously he wouldn't be able to turn the car, will he? Or if he does turn the car, he wouldn't be able to go, would he? Very technical turns from me tonight. Go instead of accelerate there. Curly then is less than a second behind Diashi. He's within DRS. Curly is at the moment, but Curly has to come to the pit. So does Steve and Welsh Maldonado. So Diashi's fight for the final point will be the Ferrari driver of FIFA Beefy, I would say. So that's who he's got to keep his eye on, and that's his realistic fight then, because these 3 drivers behind him are Curly, Steve, and Maldonado, I surmise, will be coming back into the pits and later on for this race, and to go on the soft tyres until the end of the race then. So with 10 laps to go then, it's Pains who's leading this race and on course for his first ever Silver Grand Prix victory. Gamer is second then today then. Gamer's having a great, I think he's having a great run of form here tonight then. As it stands then, Oh, goodness me. Curly is really struggling, and it looks like he's drawing a shopping trolley around there. Goodness gracious me. Really starting to get on the power there. Troy in third position. He's got to come in the pits, and so Gamer, that if he Gamer is about 17 points away from Troy at the moment. So as it stands, he will not Troy will not lose the lead in the championship. Baz in fourth position on a strong drive. BP in fifth position, and he is going to the end. He's out of drive through penalty, but he should be able to get on the podium with that. Serious Mushroom back into a very good form here tonight. Serious Mushroom is a very solid, if not spectacular race then. Even though there's an Oaken Street, and that gap was closing there from Curly, but now Steve is alongside Curly, and unfortunately, and I think that's unfortunate for Curly. He's behind Steve in the third division. Now Steve is up in the 12th position. Jumped down into the pits, comes Welsh Marnado going for the undercut here. Welsh Marnado is I think she'll be going on to the soft tires. We've got the Renault mechanics in the pits ready for Welsh Marnado, and she is throwing on the soft tires. There she goes. She's going to be quicker than a hiccup then later on in this race. And look at Paynes and really carrying the speed through the castle section. My word, there I was clenching for Paynes there. I thought he was going into the wall. Impressive stuff indeed. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, Serious Mushroom in sixth position. Great drive from Serious Mushroom. Wilson in seventh. Similar strategy to Baz. Eighth position is Gordo. Great drive once again for Gordo. Ninth position is Sean Hammers. 10th position is Bradfield. Diashi just outside the points in 11th position then. 12th is Steve with Curly in 13th. FIFA in 14th. Bullet in 15th. Nude Potato 16th. Ayrton 17th. 18th Maldonado. 19th is Nigel. Rony retirement is TK. Out of the race, unfortunately, there after another strong quote from TK, but unfortunately he hasn't got anything to show for it in terms of points here tonight then. But Paynes has a lot of he's definitely shown a lot of stuff tonight, isn't he? On course for 25 championship points then in his return to silver, and what a return to form it is for Paynes there. We know he has the pace and the quality in ALR, but tonight he's really shown it, and of course he's always been involved in some midfielder madness, hasn't he? And but tonight then he's on a very straightforward race, leading from the front then and commanding this as well, looking like a veteran out there at the moment. Paynes, he is a veteran, but he's not a veteran of leading from the front in ALR, but he's looking very comfortable out in front of the moment, up to 5 seconds almost. Paynes is going for his first Grand Prix win of his career in silver. Baz coming out of the pits then, and that strong stint from Baz is just underlined as well. He's up in his 7th tonight, Baz is, and once again he's a serial point scorer, isn't he? Baz is doing a great job. He did it in McLaren last season, and I think that he did, and of course for more often than not in the McLaren team, he was very much on his own for most of the last season. But this season, doing a great job, isn't he, Baz is? And doing a phenomenal job, isn't he? In at 7th position as well, and he's got a 3-second deficit between himself and Wilson. Wilson be in the pits in the not too distant future, and then of course we have and then of course then Baz will be about 8 seconds behind the Serious Mushroom then, so maybe 5th position might be on the cards for Baz tonight. I think Baz's best ever position was 4th, wasn't it? So here's Billet then, of course Billet on a great race in Monaco tonight. Then he's he's been near in the midfield battle, hasn't he, tonight for Billet, so he's gone very long on the hard tyres, and I think those hard tyres kind of almost done, ain't they? I wonder if he might go for a change of tyres and just have a bit of a blitz towards the end then. Carboy's saying that Troy is leaving it late to pit. Troy, yes, he is indeed. Then there's only about 6 laps to go in this race then, so Troy possibly should have come in a lap or 2 ago, and now he's in the pits then. So there's a yellow flag. Ayrton's had some issues there. 5-second penalty for Troy. Ayrton's lost the nose cone in the Alpha Tarius. Nigel's trying to get through, and Troy has got a 5-second penalty. That's going to be added to his race time. That is critical in Troy's quest here, and of course and Troy was very much a man on run of form there. All of a sudden there is on the back foot, isn't he now? So he's got a yellow flag. Ayrton's out of the race. Ayrton is out of the Grand Prix, and it's a virtual safety car for Ayrton, and he has gone off at turn number 15 now. A miserable day there for Ayrton, unfortunately, as he had technical gremlins from the start there, wasn't able to take control of his car, and really it was an uphill battle from there, wasn't it, when he was on the medium tyres. Unfortunately for Ayrton, virtual safety car's out, so anyone who wants to pit is an ideal time now. So it's the likes of Steve's in the pitch. Wilson's come back out in 12th position now. Steve there is See there is behind Washman. So Washman is doing the undercut quite spectacularly there. And see there getting the rub of the green as well for the virtual safety car, which is allowed. And look at how much time Curly has lost there by pitting under green flag scenario. Look at that then. Goodness me. Steve is already in past turn 2, halfway down the second DRS zone then. Billet in the pits. And Nigel has retired from the race then, unfortunately. Having a lot of drivers on a miserable day out there today, and they likes of TK, Ayrton and Nigel, unfortunately. Curly, another Curly, Steve, and also Washman, although New Potato is also on a bit of a difficult day out there. And FIFA Beefy probably would be on the podium right now, wouldn't he? Maybe even challenging Gamer for this second position, but unfortunately that's not the case at the moment, is it? As unfortunately he had a damage in the castle section, didn't he? Now then, FIFA Beefy unfortunately hasn't got back in the points, but Wilson is on the cusp of points now. He's 4 seconds away, about 5 seconds away, and well, he's less than that now, because look, there he is in the back, in the foreground. Diassi is his target, is Wilson's target there. Wilson is another driver who scores points, doesn't he, on demand there, and he is, Red Bull have had a miserable time, haven't they, in Baku, in ALR terms. So I think that Wilson's going to be the only one of the Red Bull drivers, the 4 Red Bull drivers to score here, and that's going to be crucial in the joint constructors and the constructors as well, because in the constructors for silver, Red Bull are very much in third position there. They're in a solid third position, and I think that they would like to have gained some ground on the run on the Mercedes team, especially with none of them winning today, as FIFA B there was just trying to see if he can squeeze back on the inside of Wilson, but there was no dice there. Nigel out of the race, and he's going to be a very unhappy choppy after this one. It was a difficult day for the former ALR world champion. Troy is now, Steve's got past Welsh Maldonado, and now then it's Wilson is up in 2-11 position again, past D Ashley as well. And Steve, just to confirm that Steve's got past Welsh Maldonado, and he is up into 14th position now. On board then with Troy, he is now right underneath the gearbox of Sirius Mushroom. He has 5 laps there to really put a spurt on and get 5 seconds in front of Sirius Mushroom. That is his target now for Troy. Can he now get him? Can he get 4th position? And he's going for it, and he's done it. Good performance there as FIFA Beefy has got past Diash as well. Diash dropped down to 12th position at the very late stages of this Grand Prix. Diash's dropped out of the points. What a shame. He's had a very strong drive tonight again, Diash has, but unfortunately no points there. But Racing Point is on the cusp of getting some good points then with BP, who steps in the car there, and he will be getting the points then for the Racing Point team, and that is crucial in the constructors, isn't it? Because unfortunately Racing Point have had the worst start in ALR in terms of a constructor, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter how you start, it all matters how you finish, isn't it? Well, that's what I tell myself every time in all aspects of life. Finish. We've got a Haas car who's come to blows, and it's a virtual safety car. Again, his billet has really got some issues going on in the castle section, as it is claimed another victim here, as Billet there is just trying to get out of the castle section as well. And I think it's a bit of frustration as well there for Billet. He is down in at 17th position, but of course he did score some major points at last time out in Monaco, of course. It's a tricky track, this one, is you need to get in the groove, don't you? And then when you get in the groove, you've got to stay in the groove as well, and it's easier said than done, really, isn't it? 17 cars remain. Retirements. TK out of the race. Damage after him and Nigel came to blows in turn 1. Ayrton, of course, had technical gremlins, and unfortunately he then hit the wall quite heavily in turn 15 after damage in the castle section. And we also have Nigel out of the race as well, as I think that he just came in, and I'm not sure if there's issues out for the Ferrari driver, but he's also out as well. We're back racing here in Baku then for the final stint in this Grand Prix. Billet's gone off then in a big way in the final sector then. Yellow flag is fluttering. Is that going to be a safety car? Let's just take a look then, because we haven't had any safety cars at all today. This has been a fantastic effort there, but I think it might be a bit too late. But where is Billet then? His car has been cleared. We're back racing then, so no safety cars, and I think the Pains Gamer is going to be very happy. Troy is going to be absolutely ecstatic with that, because he had a 5-second penalty. BP would have loved their safety car at this stage of proceedings, wouldn't he? Because that would have helped him back and maybe get back into second position. On board Bradford then we've got Wilson and the 2 drivers who came to blows in Monaco in the layout stages last week are now quite close together once again in the battle for 8th, 9th and 10th position. And Bradfield on quite newish hard tyres. They've done 8 laps, but Wilson is flying on his soft tyres, isn't it? And of course I might put my hat on the line then if I think that Wilson's going to be in 8th position by the end of this straight, perhaps then. And here he comes now, and Bradfield through. Wilson is through as well, and now then Wilson is going for it. He's he's going on the outside of Bradfield. Oh my goodness me, he's on the outside. Bradfield is broke earlier than Wilson is through up into 8th position there, and I have kept my hat, thank goodness for that thing, so I can hide my mop. So brilliant stuff indeed there for Wilson. He is now, and Baz is up to 5th position. He's having a magnificent performance here today from Baz. He is 4 seconds away from Troye with 4 laps to go. Then can he keep it in that 5-second buffer and get 4th position to equal his best performance of his career? BP has got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That shouldn't affect him too much, I don't think, even though Troy is coming at an almighty amount of rate of knots. But that 5-second penalty is going to cost Troy, I think, of getting on the podium here tonight, and that's a blow for Troy, isn't it? And now Wilson is really putting on a late spurt here in this Grand Prix, isn't he? He's now right up behind Gordo as well with 4 laps to go. I think Gordo might be the last position he can gain then, with Cirrus Mushroom almost 10 seconds in front of this gaggle of cars. Then Gordo there is, I think his tires are starting to fade quite quickly here, and Wilson can see him struggling. Can he? He's done 13 laps on those hard tires. See, they still got a bit of life, but against the soft shod Red Bull, I think he ain't gonna have much defence. And look, Bradfield there also giving it all kinds of welly in the background as well. Yellow flag then as well, and the Renaults has come across, and then it's a Welsh Maldonado having half a spin out the castle section, having a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately. We got Steve who's all over the back of New Potato. We keep an eye to see how that one plays out. We're just on board with Steve's teammate at the moment, which is Wilson then, and Wilson will strengthen his advantage in the top 4 in the championship. So once again, good stuff there from Wilson. Remember, I think he finished 4th in the championship last season. It's a late dive from Wilson out the inside, passes Gordo, and it's a good. But Gordo's got back through that, and great traction there from the Haas car. Wilson is going up the inside. Remember the amount of incidents we've had around there. Bradfield almost went around there in the background, and look at this, and now having a drag race down into turn 4, and now as Billett is out of the race, and he's retired, and up into 10th position there goes Wilson. Gordo down into 8th position then, and we have Bradfield all over the back of Gordo as well. This might be late heartbreak for the Haas driver. We have also got Steve's got past the New Potato and up into 13th position then. Good stuff indeed then. Look at this battling cars here then. So it's Troye is getting well, if he gets past BP, that's a big if. He then needs to extend his gap then to at least about 2 seconds, doesn't he, if he wants to get in front of BP and get on the podium now. So it's going to be very very tough for Troy to do that, but it's there. Vintage is saying a great move from Wilson, to be fair. It was a cracking move up the inside from Gordo. Gordo came back at him now out of turn 1 and into turn 2, and of course had a drag race down to turn 3. Now it's Bradfield's turn then to get past Gordo as well. 2 strong drives there from Wilson and Bradfield. Good stuff indeed then. So lap 25 out of 26 as we approach the twilight end of this race. Paint is absolutely dominated this event tonight, hasn't he? He had pole position, and he has been really, I gotta say, he's been cream of the crop here tonight, hasn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there for Pains, and going for his first Grand Prix win of his silver career. Fantastic. Gamer in 2nd position now. He would love to have got a race win here tonight then, but 2nd isn't too bad, and he does, and he is outscoring at Troye by 6 points then, and Bradfield is a bit too far back at the moment, but he is gaining, but the door is going to be shut for Gordo. FIFA is unfortunately got, unfortunately for Sean Hammers, got in front of Sean Hammers, and the final battle for 10th position. Well, FIFA Beefy should have been in the battle for the final podium spot, or maybe even for 2nd position, I feel. What a shame now for FIFA Beefy. Gordo is defending, but Bradfield is on the outside. Gordo left the inside, but Gordo very sensibly then tucks it underneath in the McLaren. I think Gordo's got damage, hasn't he? Which is why he's fallen off. Yes, he has. Gordo with the beautiful golden helmet there. Unfortunately, he's got damage, so he's going to be limping home with FIFA also on the medium tire as well. But there's 1 lap to go for Gordo. Can he hang on to that final point or 2 for the Haas team? And once again, Gordo's shown he's got some good, he's doing a very good job in terms of getting points there on the board. As Bradfield is now starting to stretch away then. Payne's there is now starting his final lap then of the Grand Prix. Absolutely magnificent performance there from Payne today. Absolutely amazing stuff indeed there. He's really turned up into silver, hasn't he? Really shown he has got some class, hasn't he? Amazing stuff there. Troy is going to be very, very good about that 5-second penalty, because that has really cost him third position, because he would be inside the 3-second penalty zone now, which BP got there. Of course, he had that 3-second penalty only a couple of laps ago, so of course Troy is not Mystic Meg, unfortunately for him. Gordo is trying to keep up there, but I think that he's going to be looking in his wing mirrors now, because it's FIFA Beefy who is now gaining. Isn't he? We're on board of him then, but I think he's too far back into turn number 1 then. And look at that then, but I think that Bradfield helped out unintentionally, of course, helped out Gordo there to keep in front of FIFA Beefy, because he kept gave him the DRS zone, and that's exactly what he needed. Oh, and FIFA's lost it! He's lost it there, and he's gone off in a big way, and that kind of sums up his day for FIFA Beefy, and having a nightmare race. He got on the power too much there, and he has lost out that extra point perhaps, and at least the point for the Ferrari team. The Ferrari team are having a nightmare race today, and I think that I think FIFA Beefy will be happy to put this one to bed here tonight then, and he is out of the race then. He's going to be absolutely furious then, with just 1 lap to go. FIFA Beefy out of the Grand Prix as Welsh Maldonado has just got past Curly as well. But it is Paynes who has really dominated this event, hasn't he? Almost 10 seconds the gap is. He has been mega from start to finish, and Paynes wins his first Grand Prix of silver. Paynes wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. A fantastic performance there. Gamer has taken, for the first time in the last couple of events, takes points out of Troy and finishes second there. BP getting third on his debut as well. A strong performance, BP, on his debut to get third. Troy in a 4th position there as, oh goodness me, as he spins it around then. Baz there, unfortunately, is not inside the unfortunately for him, it's not inside the 5-second window, but he finishes 5th. A strong day for Baz, a strong day for Serious Mushroom as well in the 6th position. Wilson will be 7th there. A lot of draw of the day before. I think that Wilson might get draw of the day here today, because he was magnificent, wasn't he, in 7th position. Bradfield in 8th position in the McLaren. Gordo is in 9th, and a strong drive for Gordo as well. Unfortunately, got that damage right near the end now, didn't he? Sean Hammers in 10th position. Diassi very close there to points, and 4/10 of a second away from points in the end then. As Welsh Maldonado is 40. Oh, we found a big smash there. It's a big smash towards the end there. Maldonado is out of the Grand Prix, and Curly, and they were having a very, very juicy battle towards the end then. And that was... Unfortunately, another 2 drivers that were out to pit early on then sums up their day. And I think that that in the McLaren limps home in 13th position there. No points then for Curly Red, but at least the McLaren team gets points then. As Paynes there, absolutely a dominating performance there from Paynes. Really good stuff then from the Williams driver today. That's what I was mentioning. That's his first Grand Prix victory here in Silver there. It's Serious Rush with his teammate there saying, well done, great points for the team, for the Williams team then. And it really is indeed very impressive stuff, to say the least. Paynes wins his first Prix of his... oh, lovely stuff. Look at that, and he's jigging and jiving on the podium. Fantastic for Paynes. He's going to be over the moon with that. And why shouldn't he be as well? So there's Russian job for that then. Wilson will take that then. Is Dylan there also giving everyone a round of applause as well. Dylan Clark also saying that Sean Hammers on 23 Lapo Tars. That is mega stuff indeed, isn't it? Great stuff. Payne saying he's finally won a race and he's going to be happy with that then. His return to silver is a return to prominence there from Payne said. Let's take a final look at the classification then from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Paynes there, of course, won the race from pole position to checker flag. A dominating performance there. 10 seconds in front of a Gamer, who is second and also second in the championship as well. BP on his debut there from 10th to 3rd. Good job from BP. A 3-second penalty in there, but that didn't affect his final result. Troy in 4th position there. 5th position was Baz. Strong drive from Baz with Serious Mushroom 6th. Wilson driver of the day in 7th. Bradfield 8th. Gordo in 9th, and Sean Hammers completes the top 10. Diashi just outside the points in 11th position there. New Potato in 12th, and Steve 13th, and Curly in 14th. Retirements was Welsh Maldonado, FIFA Beefy, Billet, Nigel Ayrton, and TK all retired from this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Gordo is fuming, but now let's go to the podium, I should say then, and let's start off then with Paynes. Paynes, as you just mentioned there in the comments there, you finally won a Grand Prix in ALR, and goodness me, it wasn't just a luck of the draw Grand Prix win. It was a dominating performance. Good stuff. I'm not sure. Is Payne's in the party? No?
I believe he's in the party, Sean.
Oh, thank you, admin. Well, we're coming to Payne's a minute. Let's go the other way, actually, shall we? BP, what a performance here today. On your debut as well. It did go too well in qualifying. Let's start off with the bad things first, shall we? Unfortunately, you crashed in the castle section today. In qualifying, did you feel that was a pole position missed?
Yeah, maybe. I was fired up to get a pole, but yeah, I just did a stupid mistake. That's all I can really say. So that's that's unfortunate for the race because you got to start P10, which is not bad, but could have been much better. But luckily, in the early phase of the race, I succeeded to get some positions back to the front. And at some point I was even really close behind the leader. I don't know his name, Payne's dad. I'm just gonna call him that. But I could see it all go well. And then the virtual safety car hit, and I don't know what I did, but I was focused on the delta so much, but apparently I still received a drive-through penalty, which is game over, of course. But I fought back strong, in my opinion, and got a podium in the end, so I can't complain at all. Good first race for the debut.
A very good first race indeed there. Goodness me, I think that you really caused some waves in qualifying too, with that amazing lap in qualifying too as well. A fantastic lap, and that's why I would have put you in the game for pole position there. Going back to that virtual safety car, do you feel that if you didn't get that drive-through penalty, you would have been definitely there or thereabouts with Payne's battling for the win?
I'm not going to say I would have won, but I would have made him it a little bit more complicated. And I was just hoping for a good battle, enjoyment race. So it's just sad to miss out on that. But congrats to him. He definitely raced very well. He had some good pace. So let's see what the upcoming races will bring.
Very good. Well done, BP. I got to say, an absolutely fantastic debut today. And I got to say, you've really ruffled some feathers. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Let's come to second today, which is Gamer. Gamer, I think that how happy are you with today's result then? Because you have took points out of your championship rival, Troye, today.
Yeah, I'm a little bit happy. I took a few points on Troy, but I also made that mistake on New Potato. It's completely my mistake, so... yeah, that's not what I wanted today, but I will take the penalty if they want to give me one.
Oh, that was at the incident down in turn 3, was it? Because it looked like you went in a bit too deep, unfortunately. Did you just misjudge your braking point?
Yeah, I braked a little bit too late, so really unlucky for a New Potato.
But let's get on to the positive, shall we? Because as I mentioned, then you did take points out of Troy today, and you got a very solid second. Then, but it seems like Payne's might have just been a bit too quick for you today, or was you just more thinking about the championship?
Yeah, Payne's was just really quick. He did a really good job. I couldn't catch him. Both new guys, BP and Payne's, were really fast, so I got some work to do.
You have indeed then, but going on to Canada in a week's time then, looking forward to that one. I got to say Monaco was a bit of it's a difficult race anyway, but of course in Azerbaijan today. But Spain, you didn't have you had a DNF then, but you're back on the podium here tonight. Going into Canada, do you feel now that the next run of races, how are you feeling with Canada, Austria, Silverstone coming up?
Yeah, it's our 3 good tracks for me, so I hope to get in all races a podium.
Really good stuff, indeed. Well done, Gamer. Then, and of course, you've also closed the gap between yourself and Troy as well. It's looking magnificent stuff, indeed. There, unfortunately, Payne's mic is not working. I thought he was just lost for words after that incredible performance here tonight for Payne's, but it was absolutely magnificent stuff, indeed. Then, a really dominating win as well. Then for Payne's, then absolutely impressive stuff, indeed. Then, very much a Sebastian Vettel-esque Grand Prix win, wasn't it? Right then. So unfortunately, we can't hear from Payne's then, but we'll keep a slot open next week for him to have a chat with him about his first Grand Prix win. But pays out the negative points now as well for the first time this season. Good stuff, Ben. We now go on to the Canadian Grand Prix next week then, as gold and silver will return Sunday and Monday. Goodbye.